Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is over and over and over again. It is Matchday Live. It is Crystal Palace versus Arsenal from the Premier League. Of course, a big game. It's all coming up the other side of this. So it is Matchday Live, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal from Selhurst Park. A big game. Of course, Arsenal drawn the last two in the Premier League. But of course, we did beat Crystal Palace the other night in the Carabao Cup. That game was, of course, at the Emirates. This is at Selhurst Park. We've got a great record at Selhurst Park. We've only ever lost here 3 times to Crystal Palace ever in history. So it is a good ground for us, although we did get a big beating here, didn't we? A couple of years ago, we lost 3-0. But since then, we've won our last 3. So we're in good form here. Now, what is the team news, of course? I know that's what you're all thinking. So let's have a look, shall we? So this is our Arsenal lineup then for this game today. In goal, of course, it is David Ray at the back 4. Julian Timber at right back. William Saliba, Gabriel, Miles, Lewis, Skelly is back in at left back. In midfield, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz. The Kai Havertz midfield experiment is back. So that means in the front 3, it's Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus keeps his place following that hat-trick in midweek. On the bench then for Arsenal, it's Alberto Neto, Ricardo Calafiori, Kieran Tierney, Jacob Kiwior, Declan Rice, Jorginho, Mikel Merino, Leandro Trossard and Ethan Nwaneri. For Crystal Palace, and this is how they line up. In goal, it is Dean Henderson. It looks like a back 3 of Chris Richards, Mark Gay, the captain, and Maxence Lacroix. Across the midfield, it's Nathaniel Klein, Jefferson Lerma, Will Hughes, and Tyree Mitchell. Then it's Diachi, Kamada, and Ismail Assar, and they'll be playing behind striker Jean-Philippe Mateta, of course, did score their first goal the other night at the Emirates. On the bench then for Palace, it's Matt Turner, of course, former Arsenal goalkeeper. It's Asha Agbinoa, it's Trevor Shalabar, Joel Ward, Jeffrey Schlupp, Justin Devaney, Calab Kapacha, Eddie Nketiah and Sheikh Decore. So there your team lineups. What do we make of that team lineup then for Arsenal? What do we make of Kai Havertz being in midfield? It's never really worked, has it, before when he used to play in midfield at the beginning? I don't know what on earth makes you think it's going to work today. We've got, of course, 3 midfielders on the bench, Declan Rice, Jorginho and Mikel Merino. We're not sure of the fitness, certainly of Declan Rice, but I don't know. It seems a strange one for me. Not quite sure what that team lineup's all about, if I'm totally honest, but let's see. Now, the Gabriel Jesus one's quite interesting, isn't it? Because obviously he scored a hat-trick the other night. So I suppose the manager looks at it and thinks, well, he's going to be confident against the same opposition. But he's not been good enough in any Premier League game he's played this season. In fact, he's not scored in the Premier League, I don't think, this season at all, is he? He hasn't scored in the Premier League for quite some time. But he's picked him on the back of his performance the other night. Yet Kieran Tierney, who did well at left-back the other night, he hasn't retained his place in the team today, has he? So it's one rule for one and one rule for another, it seems. But let's see how it works out before we criticise too much. Crystal Palace are in good form. You know, that defeat the other night at the Emirates, their first defeat in about 6 games. So, you know, they're playing well at the moment, Crystal Palace. You know, they seem to get their act together. They've had a slow start to the season, but they're playing well. And this will be a difficult game. It will be a difficult game. I don't care anyone says it will be a difficult game. Nathan's with us. He says, hi, Rich, everyone in the chat. He's got a 2-1 to Arsenal. Well, I mean, 2-1 will be a decent result, a very good result. Because I say this will not be an easy game. I'm kind of almost thinking another draw, if I'm honest. The way we've been playing in the Premier League. We wasn't brilliant the other night, was we? The first half in particular with the so-called second team, if you like, was poor. And it took bringing on some of the more established players to turn that game around and win it. But obviously we've gone with a stronger team today, as of course we were going to in the Premier League. But I think it's going to be a difficult game. I really do. I'll be delighted with a 2-1 win. I'm tempted to think a draw, actually. Greg says, hi, Rich, all in the chat. If Jesus scores again today, Arteta will say we don't need a striker. Well, that's the worry, isn't it? That is the worry, that suddenly he's got a striker that he obviously trusts to a certain degree. I mean, he's in the squad a lot. Okay, he's not been starting games, But Arteta obviously trusts him. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think if he does score again today, then that's probably the worst thing that can happen in terms of the transfer window, because I agree. To be honest with you, I don't think we're going to buy a striker anyway. Honestly, I don't. No matter what happens today or in the next couple of games in December, I still don't think we're going to buy a striker in January. I don't. But, yeah, obviously, the fact that Jesus might go on a little bit of a goal-scoring run now may well, like you said, push the manager into thinking we don't need another striker. We clearly do. You know, I mean, you've got to look on the bench, right? At the only two strikers really that we've got in the first team squad are both in the starting lineup today, which is Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz is in midfield. So it does make you wonder where's the goal scoring option on the bench? Where's the striker on the bench? And if nothing else, we need to sign a striker for that reason, don't we? Surely we do. But anyway, I don't think we will be. Not this January. Maybe not the next January or the January after that. Either, who knows? But anyway, this is where we are with the team. This is where we are with the squad at the moment. And, you know, looking at 11 players we've got starting this game, we should be good enough to win away at Crystal Palace. No disrespect to Palace. They're a good side. They'll make it difficult for us, I'm sure. But we should have enough to win. I'm just not convinced that we will. I'm not convinced in the lineup. I'm not convinced that Havertz, the midfield, works. I'm just really not sure it does. But anyway, let's see. I know Palace seem to have quite a settled team. They seem to have quite a settled formation, and they're going to be a very difficult team to beat today at Selhurst Park. Absolutely they are. But let's see. Now, of course, earlier on today, there was some other games going on. Of course, I'm sure you know the results by now. Manchester City, of course, lost again. Wow, incredible. They lost 2-1 at Aston Villa. Incredible run they're on, aren't they? Just amazing, really. So they've lost again. They lost 2-1. And Newcastle won 4-0 away at Ipswich. Isak scored a hat-trick. A striker scoring a hat-trick. Wow. So they won that game 4-0. West Ham and Brighton drew 1-1. And Nottingham Forest, well, what a run they won. They beat Bournemouth 2-0. And Bournemouth have been in great form. So that was a fantastic result for Nottingham Forest. Again, away from home, winning a game that you wouldn't expect. Greg says, hang on, I'll get the comment up for you. Greg says, isn't it Saka's 250th? I think it is actually, yes. I think it is Saka's 250th game, which is quite remarkable, really, when you look at how old he is. He's what, 23? Is he still 20? No, he'd be 24, won't he? He was born in 2000, wasn't he? But even so, 250 appearances for Arsenal is impressive. Really is impressive. And he's the main man. Let's be honest now, isn't he? You know, it's almost like it almost feels wrong calling him Star Boy anymore. He's the main man in the team, isn't he? And that's the way it is. Roy Zabasi's gone 0-3 to Arsenal. Wow. In Arteta we trust. Well, I'm glad you trust, mate, because I certainly don't. But anyway, if we win 3-0, that would be great. Nathan says, Forest having some season. No, they are. Incredible, really. I mean, that's come from nowhere, really, in many ways, hasn't it? You know, last season, I know the new manager, Nuno Espirito Santos, came in sort of halfway through last season. And, you know, yes, he did a good job, didn't he? He got them away from the relegation zone and they finished halfway up the league. But no one was expecting this, were they? Them to go on this season and do what they've done. I mean, some of their results and their performances have been incredible. Obviously, they can't maintain it. You wouldn't imagine. They're not going to be challenging for the top four, are they, coming into the season? You don't imagine they are. But who knows? They're going as well as they can go at the moment, aren't they? So yeah, they're having a great season, Nottingham Forest. And I do quite like Nuno Espirito Santos. I think he's a good manager. I like his style of football. It's quite exciting to watch. And Forest are doing brilliantly, yeah. But anyway, the teams are in the tunnel area at Selhurst Park, which of course is a strange little situation. It's sort of the changing room areas now behind the stand what's behind the goal, and usually not along the touchline. So the players come out sort of in where the corner flag is, don't they, at Selhurst Park. One of the more sort of old school grounds, really, isn't it, in the Premier League, which I quite like. I've got to be honest, I do quite like it. It's where my dad grew up, actually. My dad grew up around the corner from Selhurst Park. It was his local team. So I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for Crystal Palace. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Selhurst Park as well, actually. So it almost feels a little bit like home for me in a way, because I say it's where me half of my family were from. So I used to go there quite a lot as well, obviously, when we used to play them back in the day. Anyway, the teams are now coming out. In fact, they come out in separate ways, don't they? Crystal Palace come out through the tunnel and Arsenal come out along the steps next to the tunnel. Very strange. Anyway, let's see what's that. I'll tell you what's doing. Terry says, afternoon, Richard, Greg, Nathan, Utmed, Arsenal managers and board, and why not the owners? Well, I think the owners are the ones that need to go, quite honestly. We're never going to really do anything until they have gone. But anyway, Roy says Rooney has taken Plymouth to the bottom of the championship, clock ticking loudly on him surviving until New Year. Yeah, I mean, Rooney's been a strange one, hasn't he? Because he's never done really well at any club he's been at as a manager. It's obviously not for him, is it? Maybe he needs to find another job. Maybe advertising McDonald's. Nathan says Rooney has shown he's not a good mate. Well, yeah, so far he has, but he still seems to get jobs, doesn't he? Keeps getting jobs. Kelvin's well said, my friend, good to see. Greg says, evening, Terry, agree, get manager on board out, get owners out as well. Nathan says, you click dislike by accident. Well, that's not very good, is it? You'll have to change it, get rid of that and then click like, because you can't click dislike, can it? Roy says, time out for Nathan. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Oh dear, what fun. Anyway, we are kind of getting ready for the kickoff here at Selhurst Park. I'm not a big fan of 5:30 kickoffs. I don't know about you guys. It's not I don't like the 12:30 ones. I don't like the 5:30 ones. It's just, I don't know, stupid time to kick off. You know, I've always liked 3 o'clock on a Saturday and maybe 4:30 on a Sunday is fine. Other than that, not too keen on the others really, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the 5:30s. Although I suppose this time of year it's under the floodlights, it makes it more like a night game, even though it's still technically an afternoon game. I don't know, it's a bit strange, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of this kickoff time. But anyway, it is what it is. I think our record at 5:30 kickoffs is quite good, isn't it? I don't know if anybody knows what the statistics are. I seem to remember us getting some good results on the 5:30 games generally, but maybe not. I don't know. Greg says, let's get people in who can make decisions. It would be refreshing. Well, who can make the right decisions. I mean, I think that's key, isn't it? I mean, it seems like the owners of the club are quite happy chugging along, taking the Champions League money, selling loads and loads of crap merchandise, and they're happy with that. They don't really want to be a serious club, do they? We don't really want to be a serious club. I don't think the owners don't. I'm not saying that the manager doesn't want to be successful. The players obviously do, but it's higher than that, isn't it? That's where it all comes from. And unfortunately, I don't believe the owners of the club are that bothered about that. If it comes, it's a bonus for them. That's not what they're here for. Anyway, Arsenal wearing their sort of light blue, purpley kind of dark blue kit, which I quite like, even though we haven't got a very good record in it. Or the men haven't. The girls, sorry, have had a good record in it. DMD says Arsenal indeed, exactly that. Rajandra is with us. How you doing, my friend? He says hit the likes for the commentary. Indeed. Terry says, what do you think of this world-class centre forward coming in January, all the way from sunny Mediterranean, Leeds United? Well, I don't think we're getting a striker in January, but we'll see. Phil says, let's stuff these guys. Come on, the Arsenal. Thought about watching this on Sky, but it's 15 quid. Well, I watch it even so you go, it's a good decision that, yeah, it's totally free here. 15 pence, what it is for one game, 15. Okay, yeah, I mean, you could buy a ticket for 30 quid, but Christ, at least you're actually in the stadium enjoying the atmosphere. Why would you pay 15 pounds? I said, at home and watch it. I don't know. And you've made the right choice here, my friend. Absolutely, definitely you have. Anyway, Arsenal just doing a little huddle here, which obviously has to be done on a pitch because they couldn't do any changing room because no one would see it and it'd be a waste of time, wouldn't it? So David Ray is in all yellow, which is a nice kit. I do like this Arsenal kit, I must admit. It's my favourite one of the 3 this season. Rajendra says the players' wages have to be paid, so the shirt sales. So, well, they do, but it's a slightly different. I think the player wages don't really come out of the merchandise kind of thing. I don't think I'm not saying that's not part of it. I think the majority of the player wages comes from the sponsorships and stuff like that, not necessarily sales of merchandise. But anyway, Arsenal just all Arsenal are interested in is making money. Paying players ridiculous transfer fees and ridiculous wages that don't deserve it. Anyway, it's going to be Arsenal kick-off. We are, taking a goal to our left in this first half, which is the Holmesdale Road end, isn't it? For those who are familiar with Selhurst Park, my old hunting ground. Well, my dad's really not mine so much. He grew up there. We grew up, of course, in East London, Essex, West Ham territory, actually. But Selhurst Park has always felt like home to me, or second home, really. Anyway, Palace are in possession on this near side with Mateta. He did score that early goal, didn't he, the other night? A mistake by Jacob Kiwior. but he couldn't keep the ball in there, the big Frenchman, and it is going to be a throw to Arsenal on this near side. Miles Lewis-Skelly back in the team at left back, had a very good game, didn't he? Was it Everton, wasn't it? He played the last Premier League game. He had a great game, didn't he? He's back in the team today. Of course, it was Kieran Tierney at left back the other night. He's on the bench again, Kieran Tierney. That's a shame, isn't it? Rajendra says the team players were millionaires in the 80s. Not only in the 80s, they wasn't. The players we played in the 80s didn't really have a lot of money at all, did they? The money didn't come in until Sky got involved in 92 initially, and then it took a while for that to kind of really come through. So most players who played in the 80s didn't really make that much money. If they continued to play in the Premier League, they did in the Premier League, but before that, they didn't really make that much money, did they? A lot of professional footballers, when they retired, had to get another job, didn't they? Run a pub or something like that and stuff like that, didn't they? So, they didn't make a lot of money, really. Some of them earned more than others. Charlie Nichols would have been on a few quid, I'm sure, back in the 80s, wouldn't he, when he came to Arsenal? Tony Woodcock probably as well. But compared to now, they got paid peanuts, really, didn't they? I don't think they got £20,000 a week in the 80s, did they? I wouldn't have thought so. Very much doubt it. There wasn't much money in football in the 80s, was there? That was the point. It wasn't until Sky got involved that the money started to come in. Anyway, nothing much has happened in this game. We've played 2 minutes. The ball is now back with David Raya, and he goes long towards Gabriel Jesus, touches it off to Kai Havertz, out of Bukayo Saka, his 250th appearance today for Arsenal. Be fitting if he scores a goal to mark the occasion, wouldn't it? He should be captain, actually, for today's game, certainly, on his 250th appearance. Anyway, Martin Odegaard plays the ball square into the centre circle to Gabriel. Plays it to William Saliba. Develops into one of the most reliable centre-back partnerships in the Premier League, aren't they? Certainly, in Europe, potentially. When they're both together and fit, it's difficult to find a better partnership, I think. And that's been the basis of this success, sort of success that we've had. Terry says, at least in the 80s, it was proper football, not this robot BS and no tackling. No, absolutely right. Yeah, it was much better. Football was much better in the 80s. I don't know if you saw the Ipswich Newcastle game today. I didn't see all of it. I saw bits and pieces of it. And the first goal that Ipswich conceded, playing it out from the back, give the ball away and Newcastle score. It's like, why do teams keep doing it? How many goals are conceded by teams doing that? I just can't understand why they persist in doing it. It just is ridiculous. That's modern football, isn't it? In the 80s, you never saw that. You just got the ball away from your goal up the other end of the pitch. There's nothing wrong with that. Play football in the other team's half, not in your own half. Anyway, I'm not a football coach, so what do I know? But anyway, Grat's with us. How you doing, my friend? He says, hi there, how you doing today? Yeah, we're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. These two kits are a little bit, I don't know, I think they're a little bit too clashy for me. Obviously they're not particularly, but I don't know. The shorts are both dark blue. I don't know, I just think that we should have maybe worn the black kit, really. Although I prefer this kit, I do think it's a bit clashy for me. Anyway, Greg says, and we were playing in a proper ground. Well, we were, of course, absolutely. The best ground ever in football history. There's no question about that. And it's never been the same since, has it? It's not been the same for me since. I've never really felt the same way about anything since we left Highbury, I've got to be honest. But anyway, it is what it is. We still haven't won a Premier League, actually, since we left. And that's quite telling, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward now. Gabriel Martinelli inside the centre circle in full headless chicken mode. Plays it back to Jure and Timber. That's a good ball, actually. Kai Havertz made a run up this near side into the space vacated by Martinelli. And now Lewis-Skelly inverts, and then he's lost the ball, although he's fouled in actual fact. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Miles Lewis-Skelly there, moving into midfield. And also got a free kick. It's sort of midway inside the Crystal Palace half. We played 5 minutes, still 0-0. Nothing's really happened yet. It's just been a little bit of a battle at the moment without any real football being played. But also got a chance there to get the ball into the box. Martin Odegaard, the captain, is going to take this set piece. Arsenal with 2 Premier League draws in a row. We had a great chance. Liverpool drawn their last 2 as well. We had a great chance, didn't we, to really put the pressure on Liverpool, and we haven't taken it. But we need to do it today with Bukayo Saka over on that far side. So I go around the outside, gets across. It's a good cross, actually. Oh, it's going to fall to this far post here. It's Gabriel Jesus, and he scored. It's 1-0 after 5 minutes. Jesus again. I bet he wishes he could play against Crystal Palace every week. It's the only team he can score against, and he's done it again. Gabriel Jesus, 5 minutes in. Wow, what a start for Arsenal. Wow, who would have thought that? Jesus hasn't scored a Premier League goal for about 5 years. He scores a hat-trick in the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace in the week, and now he scored a goal here as well in the Premier League finally. Wow, it's Bukayo Saka's cross. Will he get an assist on that? I'm not sure he will, because it came off Gabriel, and then Jesus fired it in. So it is. 1-0 to the Arsenal, indeed it is. Terry says, no green, pink or blue head. Pronoun crap either. Yeah, going back to that. That is a good start from Arsenal. 5 minutes in, Gabriel Jesus scores. And I think that's what we needed. We needed to get an early goal to settle us down. You know, we haven't had very good performances in the Premier League last couple of weeks. And of course, as we said before, now Jesus has scored. You know what that means? Yes, we're not going to be buying a striker in January. Not that we were anyway. Because Gabriel Jesus is the man, isn't he? He's the one. He's going to score 20 goals now the rest of the season. That's it. He's on a roll now. You know, it's a long ball played forward. And it's just put out there by Mark Gay. Had a great Euros, didn't he? There was speculation of him moving from Crystal Palace, but he's still here. From what I've seen, he hasn't had a great season, actually. But anyway, it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Miles Lewis-Skelly's going to take it on this near side. And that's a good start from Arsenal. It's what we needed. Settle us down. Settle the crowd down as well, because they're quite vocal here at Selhurst Park. You need to shut them up quickly. And that's what we've done here in this game. We're coming forward again. Martinelli on this near side is going to line up across his. Of course, he's not. He's going to get back onto his right foot. Inverted fullbacks, inverted wingers. All nonsense. Anyway, Miles Lewis-Skelly throws the ball into Thomas Partey. Plays it back to Williams. It wasn't a great ball, actually, and David Raya had to come inside the centre circle to pick it up and just touches it short to Saliba. Now it's with Gabriel and Miles Lewis-Skelly on this near side, pops it into midfield. Thomas Partey plays it out to that far side. Also looking good in these early stages. That's Timber finds Martin Ødegaard. Plays it back to Gabriel inside the centre circle. Also knocking the ball around pretty well, but Martin Ødegaard's just got caught in possession, and Mateta is away. Oh, and then he's fouled, is he there? That's going to probably be a yellow card for Thomas Partey. I'll be surprised if it isn't. Mateta there robbed Ødegaard of the ball inside the centre circle, and he was away then, wasn't he? I mean, sloppy play that was from Martin Ødegaard, weak. And then Mateta's running through, and that's surely a yellow card for Thomas Partey, you would imagine. I don't think, has he got a yellow card for that? I'm not sure if he has, actually. I'm quite surprised that he didn't. Anyway, it's a free kick to Crystal Palace, is the upshot of all of that. And Arsenal got some defending to do now. It's going to be Will Hughes, it looks like, with this set piece for Crystal Palace. Of course, Mateta's going to be a threat, isn't he? He's a big lad. It is Will Hughes with a ball. It's not a bad ball. A header comes in. And it's headed over there. Was it Mark Guy? I think with the header. No, it wasn't actually. It was. I'm not sure who it was with that header. Anyway, it was over the bar. Was it? Oh, it was Lacroix there, the French defender, headed over from about 8 yards. It was a good free kick, actually. Anyway, David Raya now with the ball inside the penalty area, plays it out. This is all just playing out from the back nonsense again from Arsenal. It's just a modern way, isn't it? It just does my head in. David Raya now with the ball at his feet. Oh, we've given it away. Oh, and it was almost a goal there. It's gone past the post. It was Will Hughes and Arsenal getting themselves in a muddle there, trying to play it out for. I don't know what we were doing. Why have we done that? 3 or 4 times it's gone back to David Raya, and that was a terrible pass, and it almost led to a goal. And it was Will Hughes on the end of that, and Arsenal made a complete. Well, David Raya it was made a complete mess of it, and in the end we've got away with one there. We really have. Nathan says just clear. Exactly, just clear. We're doing it again. We're doing it again. Come on, what is going on here? Anyway, Arsenal can now bring the ball up the pitch with Jure and Timber. That wasn't a great ball through. I just cannot understand why. I mean, it's not just Arsenal that do this, it's everybody. And I don't understand what the obsession is with playing it out from the back. I just can't understand it. The risk reward doesn't seem to be worthy. Anyway, Crystal Palace are coming forward now. It's a bit of space, too much space on the edge of the area. Shot comes in. Oh, and it's a goal, and Palace have equalised. Wow, it's Ismail Assar, and Arsenal had got themselves in a bit of a mess there for 2 minutes, and we've been made to pay. Ismail Assar with the finish. It's a good finish, but how did he have that much space to just run into the Arsenal penalty area? Nobody near him. He's took it well. The Senegal player put it into the far corner, but that is just not great defending. Where's Arsenal's defence gone here? It was a ball there. It's a simple ball through. Mateta made the run, and then look at the space he's got. No one's tracked him. It's Thomas Partey's man. He didn't track him. What's William Saliba doing? Standing off him. And he's just curled it into the corner. That is a terrible, terrible goal to concede from an Arsenal perspective. 3 or 4 terrible mistakes there, really bad. What's William Saliba doing? Close him down. That is a terrible goal. What are you doing there, Saliba? Come on, mate. That is absolutely poor. That's a good finish. He's curled it into the corner, but come on. Somebody put a tackle in. Someone block it or something. Make it difficult for him. Christ, that is a terrible goal. You know, I was just saying how great, solid defensive we've been, but that was terrible. That was quite honest. That was Sunday League stuff there. Thomas Partey just lost his man completely. Let him just run past him. And then William Saliba, what are you doing? Honestly, what are you doing? That is the worst piece of defending you've probably ever done in your entire career, mate. That was awful. Bill says, what a load of crap. It was a load of crap. But there you go. Absolutely was. I mean, he took it well, to be fair, curled it into the corner, but Christ, how much time was he given there? You've got to pick up your runners there. You've got to pick up your runners. And, you know, we just quietened down the crowd and we've just woken them up again. I mean, that all started a couple of minutes before, didn't it? With all of that stupid nonsense passing it around at the back. And we almost conceded a goal from that. And then we're still asleep. And then we've done it again, and terrible. Anyway, Crystal Palace we've just given the ball away, but Kai Havertz has won it back. Can Arsenal respond? Martinelli on his near side. He's not going to cross it with his left foot, is he? Obviously, he's going to try and go do the difficult thing, and in the end, he's got a corner. Well done. But I don't know why sometimes you don't play your wingers on their natural side so that they can go around the outside and put a cross in. See, Bukayo Saka can do it because he's actually a fantastic football player and he can actually go inside or outside. Although he's predominantly left-footed, he can go around the outside and cross with his right foot. Martinelli can't do anything with his left foot. Can't do anything with his left foot. It's just pointless playing him on the left. Absolutely pointless. And that was the reason why. I mean, he has won the corner, but you know what I mean? And Palace are doing the Monaco thing. They've got 3 players on the halfway line to try to empty the box a little bit. Now, do Arsenal gamble, keep players in there, and obviously have an extra man over, or do we not? Anyway, the corner comes in. It's very, very deep actually. No, it's not really cleared away. Thomas Partey plays it back to Jesus. Oh, and he's fired it in. He's got another one. Incredible. He does want to play Palace every week. There's no doubt about that. He scored again, Gabriel Jesus. Incredible scenes here at Selhurst Park. But what a crazy start to this game. We've not even played 15 minutes. And it's Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 2. Gabriel Jesus has got 2 goals. Phil says Jesus is on fire. He is, actually. It's certainly a hot streak. Well, it's 5 goals in 1 game and 15 minutes. That was a strange corner, actually. And Palace never really got it away, and then Jesus on the edge of the box. And that's another good finish, to be fair. It's another good finish. I don't know where this has come from, because he's been crap all season. Really, really poor. And he just passed it in. That's a good finish. That's a really good finish. But it was all a bit chaotic in the box. And, he just managed to curl that in. Almost at the post, didn't it? But just about squeezed in. And it is a goal. Gretz says, I'm 3 minutes ahead of you, so I have to keep my calm and not spoil anything. You're 3 minutes. How can you be 3 minutes ahead? That's mad. Let me see if I can get a more up-to-date streaming, because I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyway, I'm on 15 minutes 30 now. And there is a free kick over on that far side to Arsenal. Eggs with us, Adrian from Sweden. Jesus hat-trick hot these days. Well, yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's because it's Christmas, isn't it? Obviously, it's the best time for Jesus, isn't it? It is the best time for him. I think that was Jefferson Lerma there with a foul, actually, on Gabriel Jesus. Phil says on a hat-trick again. When's the last time someone scored consecutive hat-tricks? Probably Ian Wright would be my guess. I remember Ian Wright scoring consecutive hat-tricks against Ipswich and Southampton. Although they were both in the Premier League. Obviously, this is different competitions. But yeah, that was 2 consecutive matches. Did Thierry Henry do it? I remember Thierry Henry scoring 4 against Leeds. I don't know if he got a hat-trick in one of the other games in between. Anyway, Martin Odegaard now is leading another counter-attack for Arsenal. It goes to Saka over on that far side. Gabriel Martinelli is the nearest player forward, and Tyrick Mitchell's done well actually there against Saka. And Crystal Palace now looking to come forward themselves over on that far side with Mateta. Oh, that's a nice turn, and it's a foul there by William Saliba. The 2 Frenchmen there know each other pretty well, I'm sure. And Mateta's a handful, isn't he? He had a great scoring run, didn't he, at the end of last season? Jean-Philippe Mateta, and he's got a few this season. I think he's on 8 or 9 this season already. So he's a decent player. You know, he's a handful. He's a big lad. He's strong. He can finish. And William Saliba's going to have his work cut out against him today. He's just won the header there, and Crystal Palace have given Arsenal giving the ball away again. Sorry to Crystal Palace again coming forward. A shot from distance, but that's gone way, way wide there from Kamada, the Japanese midfield player there. A little bit optimistic shooting from there, really, wasn't it? I mean, the ball fell nicely for him, but it's not worth shooting from there, is it? Let's be honest. And it's gone over the crossbar. And Nicholas over there is with his iPad looking at some, well, I don't know what he's doing, really. We did score from one of his corners again, of course, the second goal. And it is 2-1 to Arsenal. You do get a feeling with this game that there could be a lot more goals. I don't think it's going to finish 2-1, is it? The way both teams are defending hasn't been great. Anyway, the referee is Simon Hooper, and he just had a word with David Raya. Probably telling him to hurry up because he's in no rush to take this goal kick. And he'll have to be careful because he may well get himself a yellow card. And then, well, that's always a risk this early in the game, isn't it? Especially for a goalkeeper. And we do tend to waste time if it is 2-1 with a couple of minutes to play. We'll definitely be wasting time. Anyway, Palace trying to come forward. Mateta against he does well. That's what he's good at, isn't he? He's holding the ball up. He's so strong. And he's a very, very difficult player to deal with. And he's on the chase again. He's quite quick as well for a big lad. But good play there from Miles Lewis-Skelly. In fact, there's an offside flag up anyway. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. 19 minutes played. Arsenal 2-1 up here at Selhurst Park. In a ground that's been a good ground for us over the years. You know, so we've only ever lost here 3 times ever in history. And the first time we came here was in 1969, I think it was, 5-1. George Graham was playing. I think he scored a couple of goals that day. And they've only beaten us 3 times. Once was in 1980, then in 2016, I think it was. And then, of course, more recently, 2021, wasn't it, when we lost 3-0. In fact, the last 2 defeats have both been by 3-0. In fact, we've never scored and lost here. So all the signs are good at the moment, and we are winning 2-1. And it's not often that we lead in a game and not win. Last time we actually scored first and lost was almost a year ago at Fulham, if you remember, when we led 1-0 to lose that game 2-1. And that's the last time that has happened. Let's hope it's not going to be repeated this December. We had a poor December last year, didn't we? We lost to Villa, we lost to Fulham, we lost to West Ham. And in the end, those were the defeats that proved to be costly in the end. And this December, we haven't lost, but we've had 2 draws in a row. And this game is still in the balance. It could actually go either way still. You know, we've got a couple of good goals, but we've conceded a daft one. Oh, we're just giving the ball away again. Oh, this is going to be 2-2. Oh, it isn't. That's a good save, actually. Mateta was in. David Raya got us out of jail there. Again, it's so sloppy from Arsenal at the back. But suddenly on the counter-attack for Saka over on that far side, it should have been 2-2. It could be 3-1 here. And it isn't, because Crystal Palace have dealt with that pretty well. But, wow, what a terrible piece of defending again from Arsenal. Really, really sloppy. And if it wasn't for David Raya there with a save, it looked like odds on it was going to be 2-2. Mateta was in on goal inside the penalty area. Did he have too much time? I don't know, but Ray was out quickly and managed to block the shot. And that was a big chance that for Palace to make it 2-2. And again, down to our own really, really poor defending. It's such an open game, actually, isn't it? Now, you know, every time Palace come forward and lose the ball, we're catching them on the break. Every time we lose the ball, Palace are steaming forward, throwing bodies forward. And now Saka's actually injured over on that far side. He's gone down. He's been down for a little while now. And Arsenal kicked the ball out so he can get some treatment. We're coming up to the midway point in his first half. It's not looking good for Saka. He doesn't go down like this very often. And he's holding his hamstring. He's holding his hamstring, Bukayo Saka. This is not looking good at all for Bukayo Saka. There's a minute's applause for a Palace fan, Alfie Atkins, young Palace fan who's died this week. And there is a minute's applause for at 21 minutes. He was 21 years old. Just showing that chance again for Arsenal. Terrible defending. Again, it was William Saliba. He's had an awful start to this game. And how Mateta hasn't scored that goal, I do not know. It was a good save, actually, but surely he's got to score. He has to score there. What's William Saliba doing? William Saliba has had a terrible start to this game. And Mateta there, he's just got to slot it in the corner, hasn't he? And I mean, it is a good save. It's a good save, but as a striker, you've got to score that, haven't you, really? You've got to score. He'll know it as well. He did, of course, score the other night. He's got 14 goals in 14 starts in the last year. So, you know, he's certainly got a good record, but that was not a great finish, was it? And it's a let-off for Arsenal there. Oh, Wilfried Zaha's in the crowd today watching the game. How many transfer windows did it look like Arsenal were going to buy Wilfried Zaha? Never quite happened, did it? Anyway, Bukayo Saka's going off, and I don't think he's going to come back on again. Looks like his game is run. The Crystal Palace player, Leroux's coming across to say, why are you taking that long to get him off the pitch? And he's got a point. It has taken a long time. Trossard is going to come on for Saka. This is not good news for Arsenal. What a terrible way for Saka to celebrate or not celebrate his 250th appearance for Arsenal. It's only lasted 22 minutes. And he's going off with what looks like a hamstring injury, which could be a problem, couldn't it? If it's a bad hamstring, you're looking at a few weeks at least, aren't you? And we've got a lot of games coming up, haven't we, in December and into January? Some big games. We need Saka to be fit, don't we? Anyway, it's going to be Trossard coming on for Saka. Now, I don't know whether Martinelli's going to move to the right. Like I said, he might be better off on the right-hand side, or will Trossard just looking over on that right-hand side? It looks like Trossard actually is going to be over there. Oh, actually, no, maybe Jesus is going over there. Anyway, I'm sure we'll figure it out very shortly as the game gets going again. But then Martinelli guys over on that far side trying to bring the ball forward, trying to go past a couple of challenges, but Tyreek Mitchell's across. Concedes the throw. And Trossard is now coming on. They're just showing what happened to Saka there. Does look like a hamstring, doesn't it? And I say Trossard is maybe coming a little bit earlier than it was when he went to cross that ball. Yeah, it's definitely a pulled hamstring. There's no doubt about that. And that could be him gone for some time. Mark C says, we've got 6 or 7 games in January. The one bonus, I suppose, is that they're all at the Emirates. Well, it is, but, you know, there's some big games there. We've got a semi-final with a Carabao Cup, of course. We've got the third round of the FA Cup. You know, we've got some big Premier League games as well. And we're going to have to cope without Saka. Is Martinelli actually has gone over to the right-hand side. Trossard's over on the left. And I think that's a sensible option, actually. Finally, we're getting players on the right wing who can, on the right side of their natural side, you know, and I think that's the best way to attack. So let's see if this works with Martinelli over on the right. Let's hope it does. And so Trossard on the left. He can play either side, Trossard, but I like him on the left. I think he's a good option, isn't he, Trossard there? Everyone says he plays better when he comes off the bench, so let's see if he can have an impact in this game. He's got a long time, though. It's only 25 minutes played, so he's going to get quite a long spell in this game. Terry says, to be fair on Saka, he only played 4 seasons with an injury. He's coming forward again. Again, it's not a great header from William Saliba. And it says Marla Sarr picks the ball up. He's going, well, actually, he's going to try a shot again. Hits an Arsenal defender in the back of the head. And the referee's going to stop the game because it is a head injury, even though Palace were coming forward. It is actually Gabriel. Mark C says, oddly now, I'm going to see something I've wanted to see in ages. Martinelli on the right and Trossard on the left. Well, yeah, I mean, certainly Martinelli on the right. I kind of like that because I think that he's right-footed. He can't use his left foot. So we might be able to see him be a little bit more direct, go past the fullback and get a cross in first time. You know, we might see more of that now. I'm hoping so. But I can remember a few years ago, he played some games on the right, didn't he? I think when Saka was playing like left wing back and stuff like that, it never seemed to quite work for him there, did it? I didn't think. But it seems to be his more natural position. I still don't know why Saka doesn't play on the left and Martinelli on the right naturally anyway. I would always do that, really. But anyway, I mean, obviously, Saka playing on the right works. There's no doubt about that. You know, Palace coming forward now on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, looking for their second equaliser. Wasn't a great ball, and Arsenal sort of scrambled it away. We've looked very dodgy at the back, actually, in this game. We've looked really shaky at the back. And I say you do feel there's going to be more goals in this game. We had 3 in the first 15 minutes. Or now Palace coming forward over on that far side. This is good play. Cross comes in. It's reached Ismail Assar, their goal scorer, but he couldn't get that ball under control and Arsenal clear it away. Not completely convincingly, you have to say. Will Hughes now in midfield. Palace having a good spell. So they seek the second equaliser. 2 goals from Gabriel Jesus have put Arsenal in control here. This is a ball switched up this near side. It's a good ball, actually. And Palace now looking quite dangerous here. Will Hughes plays it out to that far side again. There's some space for Tyreek Mitchell. Can he get the cross in? Martinelli's across doing his defensive duties. You know he's going to do that work, Martinelli. That's played into Will Hughes on the edge of the box. He's done well, Will Hughes. He chips across in, headed out by Saliba. Again, it's not a very good header, to be fair. And Palace are still in possession. Again, it's with Tyreek Mitchell over on that far side. Palace have got some momentum here. That's a decent cross, but David Raya's come a long way and claims that well. That great save from David Raya from Mateta has preserved this lead for us, which has been looking a little bit shaky in the last 5 minutes. So we're not looking that solid at the back, are we, in this game? And we did concede a rather soft goal, and we could have conceded 2 more. We've not even played half an hour yet. That's how this game's gone. Anyway, Gabriel now plays it back to William Saliba midway inside the Arsenal half. Gabriel gets it back, looking to bring the ball forward, but instead goes back to Saliba again. Arsenal just trying to take the sting out of this Palace momentum that they've had in the last 5 minutes or so. And Trossard now with his first real contribution, but only can go backwards, and Palace are forcing us all the way back. Saliba now just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Plays it out that far side. So Juran Timber chips a long ball forward, looking for Gabriel Jesus, but Mark Gay's across there, a header. At least Arsenal got themselves back up the pitch. We were waiting to hear the news, weren't we, on Bukayo Saka, see how serious that injury is. It looks like a pulled hamstring, and that's going to be a few weeks at least, isn't it? And, you know, this is a busy time of the season. Lots of games in quite a short space of time, and some big games as well to come, including that Carabao Cup semi-final first leg on the, 7th of January, whenever it is. Is it 7th or 8th of January or something like that, isn't it? That game at the Emirates. And Arsenal are going to have to get a decent result there with the second leg at St James's to come, where we've got a really poor record in recent years. It was going to be a foul, but Palace are playing an advantage here at this near side. Again, it's Ismail Assar. What's a cross like? It's not bad, but it's straight into the arms of David Raya. And it was Martin Odegaard with that foul. Got away with that because Palace had the ball. Martin Odegaard's just got the ball very deep off of David Raya. We've played 30 minutes here at Selhurst Park. Arsenal 1. Sorry, Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 2. And Arsenal looking, I wouldn't exactly say comfortable in this game at all. Defensively, we're looking really, really shaky in actual fact. But anyway, Palace are coming forward again. They've actually playing quite well, Palace. And they're coming forward again up this near side. Oh, that's nice play, and that's a foul by Gabriel on Ismail Assar. I think he's going to be a yellow card this time. Thomas Partey got away with one, but Gabriel's not going to get away with that. It was a nice turn, actually, from Ismail Assar there. Gabriel got himself maybe a little bit too tight there. And he's fouled his man and got himself a yellow card. It's a free kick to Crystal Palace. And Arsenal really do need to buck our ideas up here. I'm going to try and get a different string because that one just isn't not working. It's just not working at all. It's just not working at all. So I'm going to try something different. See if we can get a better string because that's just rubbish. Let's see if this is any better. Hopefully I haven't missed anything too exciting. Sure we won't have done. Let's have a look, shall we? No, it's still 2-1. Anyway, it's a free kick to Crystal Palace. Comes in towards the edge of the penalty. It's headed out there by, was it Martin Odegaard? Terry says, don't worry, we've got 3 seasons of world-class players coming in January. Yeah, I'm sure we have. Anyway, it's a throw to Crystal Palace on this near side. It's going to be a long throw by the look of it. And it's going to be Jefferson Lerma with this throw for Crystal Palace. He chased a second equaliser. It is a long throw towards the 6-yard box, and Arsenal sort of scramble it away, but it is a corner to Crystal Palace. I think it's their first corner, actually. Mark Gay was in there, and he fired it against Thomas Partey. And Gabriel was appealing there, and it clearly came off Thomas Partey for a corner to Crystal Palace. Now, we scored from a corner, so let's see how well we can defend this one. There's a lot of movement in there. Mateta is making a nuisance of himself. And it's going to be Will Hughes with the corner. Comes in towards the near post. It's quite a flat one. And actually, this stream's not working particularly well either. But it's headed over. And there's no danger there for Arsenal. Wasn't a bad corner, a little bit too flat. And in the end, it's headed over by Mark Gay, I think it was. Oh, no, it was Lacroix again. He's been quite a threat, hasn't he? And Nathan says, I can't see this ending 2-1. No, I can't either. But neither team's defending particularly well, are they? Arsenal certainly are. In fact, that should be another corner because that came off Kai Havertz. But anyway, it's a goal kick. Lacroix has looked quite dangerous, hasn't he, the Frenchman, from set pieces. Anyway, David Raya is going to take this goal kick long, which is a much better option for me. Get it up the other end of the pitch. Play your football in that half. And the ball's actually run all the way through to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. It is still Palace 1, Arsenal 2. With 10 minutes or so away from half-time. It's been an open game, hasn't it? Quite, probably much too open in actual fact. I'm sure both managers will be looking at that at half-time and trying to tighten things up a little bit. I mean, obviously, Palace need a goal to get back into the game again, but, you know, they've been too open. We've been far too open. We've been far too sloppy, actually. It's not so much that we've been open, it's just sloppy. Some of our play out from the back has been terrible. Anyway, David Ray's gone long up that far side looking for Martin. He hasn't really had the ball, has he, since he's moved over there, since Bukayo Saka was forced off. And Palace now trying to come forward again. Mateta's going to come across on this near side and battle there with William Saliba. And those two have had a good battle so far, haven't they? Mark C says, bit of a ding-dong derby so far. It is, yeah. It's been end-to-end stuff. There could have been more goals already in this game. I say Palace could easily have scored 2 more than they have. And we've been a little bit fortunate, actually. I'd say we may be slightly fortunate to be leading 2-1. If you look at the balance of the play, the chances, Palace certainly have deserve probably to be level. But anyway, we just need to tidy our game up because we've been so sloppy. And there's a yellow card now for Timber for taking too long over this throw. And he has taken quite a long time. And he's still not in any hurry to take it, is he? Juran Timber. But he's going to take it now. And that's him got to be careful because how many times you see a yellow card for time wasting become a second yellow card? Oh, suddenly Martinelli's in. He's gone round one defence. Gabriel Jesus, actually. Good tackle on him there, though. Good recovery from Lacroix, who maybe made a mistake in the first place. But that was good play from Jesus. It was a mistake. And then lovely play from Jesus. But what a great recovery tackle that was from the Frenchman. Nathan says, I told you Lacroix is a good player. He's a good player. He's big, he's strong. And he made a mistake there, but what a way to make up for it. Absolutely brilliant there, wasn't it? Great defending. I mean, Jesus is still fairly quick, but he got back at him there. It is a corner to Arsenal, which probably isn't the best result for Crystal Palace, is it, at the end of the day? Because we did score from our last one. This one's going to be over on the far side. Of course, no Rice or Saka now to take the corners. This is going to be Martin Odegaard with his left foot over on that far side. In swinger it'll be. It's very high, very deep. And it's a head off the crossbar. And a second header from Kai Havertz, and it's bouncing around in the box. I think it was William Saliba hit the bar. Wow, that was absolutely close to a third goal. And Crystal Palace now on a counter-attack. And David Ray's putting a little bit of pressure there by Mateta, goes long. And the game is so stretched, it almost feels like the last 5 minutes. The whole first half's been like that. Very, very stretched, this game. Anyway, Thomas Partey now plays it out to Martin Odegaard. And Arsenal had a couple of chances there to get the third goal. I'm sure it was William Saliba's header from that corner, hit the bar. Martinelli now on that far side. Go around the outside and put a cross in. That's what he's done. And that's what he does do. The header comes in. It's hit the post. And it's in from Kai Havertz, but I think he's offside. Or is he? I think it's been given. It's 3-1. Kai Havertz with the goal. And that's what I mean. Martinelli over on the right-hand side. Goes round the outside. Puts a cross in. And it's finished off there by Kai Havertz from inside the 6-yard box from about 2 yards. He did look offside, but let's have a look and see. That's what you want to see Martinelli do. That's why he's wasted on the left. Really good play there for Martinelli. Went backwards, then went round the outside of Tyreek Mitchell, got to the byline, pulled it back, and Gabriel Jesus header, and he's not offside. It was static defending, and it's another goal for Arsenal. It is 3-1. Wow. That was a little bit of a strange one, wasn't it? But it's been given. He was onside. And if I can find my little graphic. Oh, it's there. And Kai Havertz it is who's slotted it away from close range. And that surely will be that for Arsenal now at 3-1. You don't see Palace coming back into this, even though they've had some chances. Mark C says Jesus should have scored a header. Really good cross from Martinelli. Well, yeah, that's what we want Martinelli to be doing, going around the outside and putting a ball in. So if you play your wingers on their natural side, that's what you get. It's not difficult, is it? You play them on their right side and go around the outside and whip a cross in. That's what Martinelli did. They got to the byline, great cross. Jesus hits the post and Havertz is there to finish it off. And that is a nice goal, isn't it? A nice bit of football goal that we like to see. Some good wing play, a nice cross, and okay, yeah, it's hit the post and it's a bit scrappy, but it's a goal, and I like to see football like that. And it is 3-1, and Arsenal in control at Selhurst Park, as we have been before many times. Greg says definitely not buying a striker now. Well, why would we need to? The two strikers that we've got have both scored goals today, so why do we need to buy a striker? We don't, do we? It's silly to think that we do. Why waste 150 million buying a striker like, say, I don't know, an Alexander Isak or a Goikarez or whoever it might be? That lad, is it Sesko? Why buy someone like that when we've got Havertz and Jesus who are scoring goals? What more do we want? Mark C says a rather obvious advantage of having a right-footed player on the right. Exactly, yeah. And I don't know why it's taken so long for us to. It was actually Gabriel that hit the bar just before, actually, in actual fact. Before that goal from the corner, it wasn't. It wasn't Saliba. Martin Odegaard over on that far side. Aggie says Kulishevsky or Isak. Yeah, well, you'd want a few Swedes, wouldn't you? I'm sure. I mean, Kulishevsky's not a striker, though, is he? He's more of a wide player. I do quite like him, actually. I think he's quite decent, but Isak's the one, isn't he? Christ, he got a hat-trick today. Okay, yes, it was only Ipswich, but even so, he's got 11, 12 goals this season. He got 25 last season. That's the sort of player that we need. That's the sort of striker that we need. And he would thrive and score even more in this team, I think. But anyway, let's see what happens in January. Probably not a lot, if we're honest. But we can all dream, can't we? That's what it's about, isn't it? We can dream and hope to see some nice strikers coming. But it probably will just be a dream, I think. Anyway, Arsenal in possession with Timber. Plays the ball back. Nathan says, best striker in the Premier League. He is, absolutely. I agree with you. Absolutely is. Terry says, Aggie, but you also gave us Greta Thunberg. Well, yeah, that's true as well. That is true. And Ace of Base, let's be honest. But, no one's perfect, are they? Come on. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward again over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus has kept the ball in. Has he kept the ball in? It's gone out now. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal into the last 3 minutes of the first half. Nathan says, set you back 120 million. It'd be worth it, though, wouldn't it? It'd be worth it to, a 25-goal striker is worth their money. It's worth whatever you pay for them, aren't they? And that's why they get paid the big money. That's why they cost the most money, because it's the goals that win your games, ultimately. That's what football's about, isn't it? And ultimately, they're the players that win your trophies and win your titles. So it's the missing link, isn't it? And it's not. It's one of the missing links in this team, isn't it? A striker like Isak. Martinelli now, he's done well over on that far side, the right. Greg says we've been dreaming for 5 years, or was it nightmares? Well, I mean, they were dreams. Aggie says Greta has lost it. Well, she lost it a long time ago. Aggie says Greta crazy, which has always been crazy. Let's be honest, he's always been crazy. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. Closing stages. First of all, Palace have given the ball away. Trossard steps in, finds Lewis Skelly. Now Havertz plays it back to Gabriel, and Arsenal quite happy to go backwards. William Saliba finds Lewis Skelly on this near side. He's closed down actually quite quickly, but he does really well there. Actually, it's a great ball to Martin Odegaard. It's opening up for him a little bit over on that far side. Martinelli again. Can he get across? And he does get an early cross in. You see, that's the advantage. Trossard on the far post on the volley, but it's cleared away by Mark Gay. But Arsenal are finishing this half really, really well. We get a fourth goal, you do feel that'll be game over. Kai Havertz scored a third, finds Lewis Skelly. Now it's with Leandro Trossard. Martin Odegaard plays it up this near side to Lewis Skelly. Gets it back again to Gabriel. And Arsenal just happy to ping the ball around. We're into the last minute of the first half. There's going to be a bit of stoppage time. Obviously, injury to Saka. There's been one or two other stoppages. Obviously, some time wasting that Arsenal have done. We've got a yellow card already. In fact, 2 yellow cards for time wasting, I think, in this first half. David Ray, did David Ray get a yellow card? I don't know if he actually got one, did he? He was warned. I know Timber got a yellow card for time wasting, didn't he? Nathan says 100% he would be. He is lethal in front of goal, could score 30 plus in this too. No, I agree. I think he definitely would. Well, no, you say that. I mean, on paper, you'd say so, but the way Mikel Arteta plays his striker when he had striker before, he probably wouldn't. I mean, Aubameyang was a 30-goal a season striker when Mikel Arteta arrived 5 years ago, and he soon knocked the goals out of him, didn't he? I think he scored like 15 or something his last season. He took 50% of his goals away by asking him to do a job for the team that isn't ever going to score your goals as a striker. You want your striker to be up that end of the pitch doing their job that they've got to do, and that's not what Mikel Arteta wants to happen. And that's why Jesus hasn't scored many goals, and that's the reason, because it's the role that the manager wants the striker to play as part of the structure of the team. And that's why Arsenal will never win a golden boot where Arteta's manager, no matter what striker we buy, because that's not what he wants. Anyway, Will Hughes now, Crystal Palace. It's going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. We are into that 5 minutes now. And Crystal Palace in possession on halfway. Will Hughes plays it forward. Now it's out to that far side again with Tyreek Mitchell. He's a good young player, isn't he? Tyreek Mitchell, good left back. Anyway, this ball comes in. It's a good ball, actually. Good switch here to this near side. Palace looking dangerous again. Ismail Assar's had a good first half. Will Hughes now for Palace. And that's with Mark Gay over on that far side. Finds Mitchell on that far touchline. Plays the ball into the penalty area. Palace looking good here if they can get a shot away. Cross comes in towards Mateta at the near post. He can't quite direct it into the goal. It's gone behind. In fact, it's a corner, is it, for Crystal Palace? And that's where they're going to be dangerous, aren't they? If they get the ball wide, put early crosses in, obviously Mateta is going to be a threat. And I think William Saliba came across there. In fact, it was Gabriel. So I don't think that was a corner. Not sure if it was given as a corner. It should have been a corner because it came off Mateta and it is a goal kick. We've played a minute and a half of stoppage time. Mark C says it's true Arteta as our main striker dropped back out of the box way too much. Yeah, he does, yeah. I mean, look at Aubameyang. Right? No wonder Aubameyang wasn't happy when the role he was asked to play in the team. And of course the goals are going to dry up. You can't expect your centre forward isn't going to score your goals if they're not in the box. And that's why, is it the last 2 or 3 seasons, our top scorer has been Saka. We haven't even had a striker who's top scorer under Mikel Arteta because that's not how he wants to play. So I don't think we'll buy a striker like Isak. Why would Mikel Arteta spend 120 million on a player like that when he's not going to play him to his strengths? He wouldn't. There's no way he would have bought Aubameyang if you know if we didn't have Aubameyang, he wouldn't have bought him. He wouldn't have bought a player like that. Absolutely no chance. It's not structured enough. You know, Mikel Arteta is all about team structure, and individual talent isn't really, or individual flair, shall we say, and playing off the cuff. He doesn't want that. He's not interested. Anyway, Kai Havertz now finds Trossard on this near side. Trossard having a run. Can we get a 4th goal before the break? Martin Odegaard is going to try a shot. Martinelli will cross the goalkeeper. It's a good save, actually. It's come to Martin Odegaard. Fires in a shot. It's blocked. And Crystal Palace can now bring the ball away. Nathan says, do you think if Arteta asked Jesus to populate the 6-yard box more, he would score the goals needed to clinch the title? Well, I mean, I think if he played him as a out-and-out centre forward, allowed him to stay up the pitch, then I think he would score goals, yeah. And it's not like we need, you know, we're getting goals from all over the team, aren't we? You know, the midfield scores a lot of goals. The wide players do score a lot. But yeah, of course, Jesus would score more goals if he was playing in the middle, if he was up there more, allowed to stay up the pitch. But that's not what Mikel Arteta wants. He feels like he's losing a player somewhere else. Greg says, you've got to win something because they haven't got the women playing to give the club a feel-good factor. Well, yeah, exactly. Anyway, Arsenal picks up the ball up now. And all that was a good run, actually, there from Kai Havertz, but he perhaps did too much. And then Gabriel Jesus has committed a foul. We're in to the last minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. And it is a free kick to Crystal Palace. It is Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 3. And Michael Elise is watching as well from the side. And Crystal Palace could do with one of his goals in this game, couldn't they, if they're going to get back into it? Arsenal looking fairly comfortable, you have to say. But we've had enough terrible defending in this game to think that Palace may well score another goal. It's a good running again by Ismail Assar. He's had a good game, actually. And the cross comes in. It's a dangerous header. It was Jefferson Lerma, actually, with a header there. A free header, and it's straight at the goalkeeper, luckily enough. And the cross came in there, and no one's picking him up. No one's picking up the runners into the box. It cost us the Crystal Palace goal. It nearly cost us another one there. Lerma with a header, but it was comfortable for David Raya. He did make one really good save, didn't he, in the first half? I think when it was 1-1 as well, that was a crucial save, that, wasn't it, from Mateta. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle. It is Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 3. It's been another good 45 minutes for Gabriel Jesus. He got the opening goal after just 5 minutes. It was an Arsenal corner. The ball was touched back to him by Thomas Partey, and he fired it in. Or was that the second one? Anyway, it was 1-0. Palace equalised. Arsenal had a really shocking 5 minutes, really sloppy play, gave the ball away far too much, and it was a sloppy goal to concede. A good finish from Ismail Assar to make it 1-1, but Arsenal have gained control of this game. Jesus scored a second, and then it was Kai Havertz with the third after Jesus had hit the post, and Havertz was there to finish it off. And Arsenal in control, but we've been a bit sloppy, and we need to tighten up a bit, don't we, in the second half? Because Crystal Palace have been a threat. They've looked dangerous, and they could easily have got another goal or two, couldn't they? But anyway, as things stand, it is fine. So I was just reading a couple of comments there, which is nice. Oh, right, okay. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad first half, was it? You know, we're in control of the game, aren't we? Really? Greg says, let's hope we don't go defensive second half. Well, obviously we will, because Mikel Arteta would have looked at that first half and thought we were far too open. So of course he's going to go defensive in the second half, isn't he? Of course he will. But anyway, let's have a look. All right, okay. So yeah, I mean, I'd say it was a decent first half, wasn't it? And I say, as things stand, we should be getting the 3 points, and that's what we needed. Let's have a look at the stats, shall we, from that game? So let's have a look. So 42% possession for Palace, 58% for Arsenal. We have had 7 shots, 3 on target. Palace have had 9 shots and 3 on target, so quite even actually. And we've had 2 corners, and Palace have had 1. So yeah, reasonably even first half, you have to say. Really, you know, it's been not really much in it. We've maybe taken our chances and been a little bit more clinical. But yeah, pretty even, really. So yeah, we've had 2 corners, and Palace have had 1. We did score from one of our corners, didn't we? And yeah, it's been a good week for Jesus, hasn't it? Terry says, what time do you think Ødegaard is coming off? 72 minutes. Do we have Ødegaard bingo? Martin Ødegaard bingo. And you know, Man City lost again, which was quite funny, wasn't it? Mark Z says, I doubt I'll be taken off now. Having Saka go off so early has changed everything. Yeah, no, that's true. Greg gone for 65 minutes. I think, yeah, he'll bring on another defender, won't he? He'll probably bring on Kiwior. Actually, no, he probably won't bring on Kiwior. He'll bring on Jorginho, definitely. El Loco says, what a turnaround for Jesus. Since the resurrection of another Jesus, this must be the greatest coming back from the dead story. Well, it's strange, isn't it, at Christmas that Jesus makes that comeback. But it's the same opposition that he scored against, isn't it? You know, I want to see him score against other teams as well. It's no good just scoring against one team, because you know we don't play Crystal Palace every week, do we? We're going to have to play other teams, and he needs to be able to score against them as well. So we'll see. Mark C says Rice. We don't know how fit Rice is, do we? We're not really sure how fit he is, so let's see. But yeah, he might. I'm sure he can do a good half hour, can't he? I would have thought. What do we make of what's happening at Man City, though? I mean, obviously there's some problems there, isn't there? There's some issues going on. I mean, another defeat for them today at Aston Villa, and yeah, Aston Villa are a good side, we know that, but it's just defeat after defeat at the minute, isn't it, for Man City? And really, really, strange stuff happening. This has been quite a strange season, hasn't it, with some of the results that's happened. Terry says, don't you think he's making Nelly look good? Arteta won't have that. Well, no, I mean, he's playing well over on that right-hand side, isn't he? Oloko says, I'm sure Jesus would wish we played Palace every month at least. Well, he'd like to play them every week at the minute, wouldn't he? Because he can't stop scoring against them. LG says, I can see Palace coming back. I really do. We are that sort of team. I wouldn't be surprised. We've been very sloppy. Nathan says, cycles come to an end. They need to spend some money. Yeah, it's partly that. And I think you're right. I mean, nobody's ever won 4 league titles in a row. Man City have done it. And it's like, where do you go from there, really? I mean, they've won the Champions League. They've won everything, haven't they? So you almost have to wonder, don't you? What else is there to do? How can they stay that motivated again? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's the reason. You do feel as though they need some new players. They've had some injuries. Obviously, Rodri's out. We know what an important player he is. Nathan said they've not refreshed the squad enough. Yeah, and maybe that's what it is because, they're obviously a lot of their players are getting older. Other teams in the Premier League are improving. Maybe it's as simple as that. I don't know, but there are some problems there. It just seems strange that, while all this is going on, you've got the charges are going through, aren't they? As well, is that a factor? What's Pep making of it all? We just don't know, do we? There's definitely some strange stuff going on. Anyway, Oloko says, who cares about City? It's their comeuppance after decades of sports watching of Arab money. Glad their empire is probably. Well, I mean, I agree with you, but ultimately, it's we care about it because they're the team that's prevented us from winning 2 titles. So, it's important, isn't it? City struggling is obviously good for us. It's obviously good for us, although we need to take advantage of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a big issue in football, isn't it? I think with what's happening at Man City, definitely. Terry says that City's back 6 is all missing with injuries. Nathan says, also I actually think they have been worked out. Preston and they crumble. Yeah, maybe they have a little bit, yeah. Mark says age is a big factor. Yeah, I think it is. Greg says, I can't see them spending much money with the improvements they're going to make to the ground. Well, yeah, we'll see. Walker's crap what he is, yeah. Walker is past it. Yeah, I mean, he didn't. I don't think he played today, did he? Actually, Walker. But yeah, I mean, it just seems strange, doesn't it, that the season that Man City are falling apart, we don't look capable of taking advantage of that, do we? The last 2 seasons we've been desperate, haven't we, for City to fall apart? I mean, we needed to have done more ourselves, of course, but that's what we've been wanting. And the season that they do fall apart, we don't really look strong enough to capitalise on it because we had a wasted summer window, didn't we? El Loco says City's collapse came 2 seasons late for us. Yeah, exactly. Grat says, what to make of this first half, you think? Pretty sloppy defensive from both sides. Yeah, I thought we were really sloppy, actually. Like, unusually sloppy, wasn't we, in that first half? William Saliba was terrible. So I can see us going very, very defensive in the second half. I can see us basically shutting up shop, not taking risks, being very structured, and the games could well fizzle out a little bit because it was quite exciting to watch that game, unusually, for recent games after last week's pathetic effort against Everton. That was a big improvement. But yeah, I think we'll go a lot more defensive in the second half. I think we'll take less risks, and we'll probably just look to try and not even really counter-attack too much. We don't need to do anything now, do we? We just need to keep what we've got. And that's Arteta's mindset at the best of times anyway, isn't it? Keep what we've got. But let's see what happens. Terry says, that's why we need to Utmed Arteta. Now, I always agree with you, Terry, when it comes to Utmed in Arteta. Let's definitely do it. Neil Jones said, my friend, good to see you. How's everyone? We're doing great, my friend. Neil says, I need to do a pod. So, no, we do need to do one. It's just been so hectic recently. You've got in some weeks, there's been obviously the men are playing Champions League, the women are playing Champions League. There's games all over the place. It's just been absolutely hectic. But we'll have to try and sort something in the new year. Absolutely, we need to definitely do it. Neil says there's Saka injury not looking good. No, it looked. I mean, if it's a hamstring, then that's a while out, isn't it? Definitely. Terry says, Neil, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we do. I'm sure Neil's doing well. Yeah, we need to get another show back. Actually, I've been meaning to do it for a while. It just hasn't quite. Just the time. It's just getting the time. Really, it's been so tough. Grat says, Arsenal Tapper Detti till 3-3. I don't know what any of that means, but it looks quite good. See if I work it out. So you think it's going to be 3-3? Is that what you're saying? It's going to be 3-3. Ella Forlust. I don't know what that means. The Biter Lag Jag till Orient. What's Orient got to do with it? Anyway, Neil says, I'm very well, Terry. Just started a new job, so been really busy. Oh, you just started a new job. Good stuff, my friend. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Yeah, we will have to get a show back on the road. I've spoken to Lee as well. Lee's up for obviously coming back on again as well. It's just, I say, finding the time. That's the problem. It's these things. You need time, don't you, to get them all done. I see what Greg says there. If Arsenal loses, it's to 3-3 or even a defeat. I change team to Orient. Orient. What's Orient got to do with it? Poor old Orient. Mark C says, lay off the cocaine. Indeed. And Neil says, looking forward to the pod, Rich. I've missed you. Well, yeah, we've missed you, my friend, as well. Really, I've missed doing them shows, actually. It's just, there's too many games, isn't there? Obviously, with the Champions League, 500 games in that now, it's difficult, isn't it, to have an evening off. Neil says, Saliba and Raya have been... I'm sure you're going to put all over the place. Well, they have. I think Saliba's been terrible. That's probably the worst 45 minutes he's ever had. Awful. I mean, David Raya wasn't great, but he did make an important save, didn't he? From Mateta when I'm sure it was 1-1 then as well, wasn't it? When he made that save. Awful. They've been awful. Yeah, absolutely. They have been terrible. Yeah. Well, Saliba in particular. I mean, I say Raya redeemed himself a little bit with that save, but yeah. Saliba, I don't know what's up with him. Sloppy, really, really sloppy. Grat says, "Yeah, just trying to learn you some." No, we like to try and learn Swedish. We appreciate some Swedish phrases that we're trying to learn, and I'm sure by the end of the season we'll all be speaking fluent Swedish. Neil says, "I don't like these delayed throws." Well, no, this is the thing that this is one. Well, I'd say the thing. It's one of the many things that annoys me about Mikel Arteta's approach to games and his tactics. It's all about it's not just time wasting, but it is, isn't it? We're all about killing the game off, and I don't know. To me, it's anti-football. It's one of the reasons why I've never ever enjoyed watching Man City under Pep. I've never enjoyed watching Barcelona under Pep. I don't like this style of football, and Arteta's brought it to Arsenal, and that's why I don't enjoy watching this, because it's not the type of football I like. The third goal today was actually much more like the football I want to see, because it was a winger getting to the byline, putting a cross in and scoring, and that's what I want to see, football like that. I don't like all this playing it out from the back and backwards and sideways and wasting time and tactical fouls, and I just don't like it. It's not me. I'm sorry. It's not the type of football I like watching. And I've almost got to the point now, after 5 years of Arteta and putting up with this football that I don't enjoy, that I'm almost past caring if we win a trophy or not, because it won't feel the same. Winning a trophy with this manager playing this football, I don't think I can enjoy it as much as I want to be able to. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, to me, it's not the football I like at all. I don't like watching this team much. Occasionally, obviously, we play some nice football and it works and it looks good, but for the majority of the time, I just don't enjoy it. Neil says, at least Jerry reappeared. Well, I mean, he got a little bit of a game, didn't he? Why didn't he keep him in the team? He kept Jesus in today because he scored a hat-trick the other night, played well. Tierney played well. Why not keep him in the team? Yes, you could say it's holding back Lewis Skelly, who's playing well again, and he needs minutes as well. But I don't know. There's so many decisions that goes on I just can't get my head around it, honestly. And I just feel as though we've got the basis of a really, really well. We have got a good team, but we've got the basis of a team that can have real success. And I think sometimes a manager takes a team as far as they can, takes their ideas as far as they can, and it needs someone else to come in to get it over the line. I think that's what we need. Nothing taken away from what Arteta's done. He's got us from where we were to be back challenging again and stuff like that. But to go that next level, I think we need someone else. I really do. But let's see. Gratz says, second half just started. See you at the final whistle. Yeah, we will, my friend. The second half has just started, and Arsenal are attacking the goal to our right in this second half. Mikel Arteta just jogging back out. So he's missed the first 30 seconds. Ooh, not good, is it? Neil says we're terrible at the back today. Yeah, we are terrible at the back today, yeah. That's why I can see Palace scoring another goal. Whether they'll be able to get themselves right back into it, I don't know. Again, that's another really poor header from, was that Gabriel that time? And now Palace coming forward, looking for a second goal. A header comes in from Mateta. Good save from Raya again, and it's scrambled away by Juran Timber. Actually, it was Ismail Assar again, actually, with the header. He's been a threat, hasn't he? But again, Arsenal giving the ball away. Sloppy play. The cross comes in. It was Mateta's header, and then it was Sarr, actually, with a follow-up. And David Raya made a good save again, and he's made a couple of good saves in this game. We could easily have conceded 4 or 5 goals. It's a long throw going to come in from this near side from Jefferson Lerma. And Palace have started this second half on the front foot, attacking that Holmesdale end. The long throw comes in, and it's bounced all the way through to David Raya. And Saliba, that was Gabriel that time. Actually, really poor header. Really, really poor. And that sums up our defending today. It was Nathaniel Klein's cross. And Mateta's flick on, and Sarr actually there with a diving header. It was a good save. Neil says Sarr been good for them. He's been very good for them, hasn't he? He's been a real threat, hasn't he, from midfield, breaking forward, scored the goal, and yeah, he's probably been their best player, hasn't he? I think Ismail Sarr, but not helped. We haven't helped ourselves rather with this terrible defending that we've done. Anyway, we are trying to slow the play down now. William Saliba tries to bring the ball forward, goes past a couple of challenges, striding over halfway. William Saliba then plays the ball out line. It's a poor ball, looking for Martinelli, gone out of play. Rajendra says that the clashing shirts may be causing the problem. What, causing Arteta to be a terrible manager? I don't think so. It's been going on for 5 years. The kit's only been out today. I mean, I do think that, I think there is a little bit of a clash of kits. I mean, they're different, but not different enough for me. I don't know why we're playing in this kit here. But anyway, it's a good tackle there from Lewis Skelly, but Nathaniel Klein does keep the ball. Neil says, do you guys know when 2 consecutive hat-tricks have been scored against the same team in succession? Well, I wouldn't have thought against the same team. I know Ian Wright scored hat-tricks against Southampton and Ipswich in 1995, I think it was. But I don't know if a player's scored a hat-trick against the same opponents. I mean, Ian Wright scored a hat-trick against Southampton home and away, didn't he, in his first season at Arsenal? But not, obviously, we didn't play him in the same week, did we? Of course, Jez hasn't got a hat-trick yet. I'm sure if he gets it, I'm sure that stat will come up and they'll mention it. I'm sure they will. But until he gets a hat-trick, I suppose it's an irrelevant stat at the moment, but I'm sure I'll say they will talk about it later if it happens. But yeah, has it ever happened? Has a player ever scored a hat-trick in consecutive games against the same opposition? Probably not. Martinelli goes trying to bring the ball forward for Arsenal now. A little bit of space. He plays the ball up this near side to Martinelli. That's a good tackle, actually, by Mark Gay, I think it was. And then the clearance comes off Martinelli for a goal kick to Crystal Palace. Grat says, for some reason, I always thought this kit was a special design exclusive for the women's team. Now, that was the one from last season. There was one special design for the women's team, wasn't there? I mean, it was, I suppose, a similar sort of design. Just it was brighter colours, wasn't it? That was the one from last season. That was a women's only kit, which was really nice, actually. And suddenly Palace have played this well up the far side. They've got some space here. This is a dangerous moment for Arsenal. Cross comes into the near post and it's deflected behind. It's going to be a corner to Crystal Palace. That was William Saliba there with some good defending. But yeah, a little bit of space there for Crystal Palace. Was that the Saka again? He's literally doing everything for Palace, isn't he? What a player he is. What a game he's had. He's a player we could look at, actually. You know, we've bought a couple of good players from Crystal Palace, haven't we? But yeah, it was sort of pink. It wasn't really pink and it had like blue on it as well. The one from last season. And that was a women's only special kit. You know, Lewis Skelly's just gone down in the melee leading up to this corner. It was Jean-Philippe Mateta there, the big Frenchman, just basically swatted Lewis Skelly aside. He's a big, strong lad, isn't he? And Lewis Skelly, he's still trying to wrestle him over. He needs to be careful. He's got both arms round him. The referee won't like that. Anyway, this corner comes in towards the near post, but Arsenal do head it away. Now we should be able to complete the clearance. And Martinelli is going to try and lead the charge forward on the counter attack. And that's Thomas Partey. Plays the ball into midfield. Gets it back again. And Mark says, why are we putting a bloke 5'8" up against a bloke 6'3"? Well, I don't know. And not only that, is you've got a young lad and up against a big, strong centre forward. Seems crazy. Anyway, it's a free kick. Thomas Partey just conceded, and it's going to be a set piece to Crystal Palace. But yeah, it seems strange. You on Mateta you want Saliba or Gabriel. Gabriel ideally on Saliba on Mateta, don't you? That's a like for like kind of player, isn't it? I mean, what's Lewis Skelly going to be able to do again? If a cross comes in, he's not going to win the header against him, is he? Because he's bigger and stronger than him. He's just going to swat him out of the way and win the header, isn't he? So yeah, I don't know what that's all about. He's got to be Gabriel's man, surely. Anyway, Crystal Palace now back in possession on this near side. Tyreek Mitchell plays the ball forward. Oh, they're giving it away there, Palace. But Mitchell's back in again. And now Palace trying to come forward with Mateta's space over on the far side. Mateta's going to go on his own. He does go on his own. Oh, it's a mistake from Raya. Oh, but he's made up for it on the second attempt there. The first save, he maybe should have pushed it away. He's pushed it straight out. The header was that Saka again? I mean, that's a poor save, actually. And Saka should have put that in, actually. That was a bad miss that time. I mean, he had a lot of power behind it, but you can't push the ball out there. It's a good save, but Saka should have scored. And that was a big miss, actually, for Palace. Wow. I mean, we could have conceded 5 or 6 goals in this game. That's how poor defensively we've been. We've got away with it. But on another day, I mean, this game's still not won yet. We've only played 53 minutes. And David Raya made up for the initial mistake. It wasn't a great carry out, was it? He put it right into a dangerous area, and luckily he didn't pay for that. Mark Caesar's plus, of course, White is out. Yeah, I don't really rate him, if I'm honest, anyway, but I think Timber's much better. Anyway, that's a long throw there from Lewis Skelly. It's flicked on. In fact, referee's given a free kick, has he? Is it a foul throw? Don't often see foul throws in the Premier League. Is that what it was? I remember Hector Bellerin did 2 in one game, didn't he? Do you remember? If that was a foul throw, I'm not sure if that's what's been given. It is, yes, a foul throw. Wow, incredible. You don't often see that in the Premier League there. Anyway, it was Lewis Skelly there. Anyway, Arsenal scrambled that away. It's going to bounce out of play on this near side for a throw, which Martinelli is going to take on the right-hand side. But Palace have had some big chances to get back into this game. They really have. Grat says, yeah, got that for me nice as a Christmas present. Well, now I have to pay attention to the game. Is this the night I turn to Orient? Only future will tell. So you have to go, no, you won't be turning to Orient. Well, Crystal Palace have had 13 shots to our 7. They've had 6 on target to our 3. We haven't had a shot in the second half, Arsenal. This has been quite poor, actually. But luckily, we've got a lead to defend. and Palace will have a lot of work to do to get back into it. But they certainly had a big chance just a moment ago. And if they can get a goal back to 3-2 with this amount of time still left, then anything's possible. And maybe Grat will be supporting Orient for Christmas. Anyway, Martinelli now on this near side. He's tackled there. It's a good tackle actually by Mark Gay there. And Martin Odegaard does pick the ball up. Kai Havertz scored that third goal, which I think could well prove to be the crucial one in this game. Will Hughes there takes the ball off Martin Odegaard, who's been really poor as well today. And Will Hughes making a run forward. Was that a foul? It was a foul. In fact, it wasn't a foul. He gave it against Will Hughes. Was it for handball? Because he went down and touched the ball with his arm, expecting to get a free kick, and he didn't. And the free kick's gone to Arsenal. We've played 10 minutes of this second half. It's still Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 3. It hasn't been a great second half from Arsenal at all. And we're quite fortunate not to have conceded a second goal. We might get an opportunity here. Martinelli up this near side. He's got 2 defenders for company. Tries to get a cross in. It's hit one of those defenders. I think it was Lacroix, and gone out. Now Arsenal making some substitutions. Declan Rice looks as though he might be coming on. Calafiore is definitely coming on. Probably for Lewis Skelly after that foul throw. Michael Arteta doesn't like that sort of thing, is he? Martin Odegaard's cross towards the far post. It's headed down by Kai Havertz. Palace scramble it clear, and now they can try and get forward themselves again. It's with Sarr, but Lewis Skelly does well there, actually. Good defending that was from the teenager against Sarr, who's been an absolute threat all day. Mark C says Martin looks a lot more confident in what he's doing on the right flank. He does it because he knows he can go around the outside and whip a ball in. Anyway, Havertz plays it out to the far side. Trossard cuts in. Feels he's going to try a shot from the edge of the box. He does. It hits Will Hughes. He's going to bounce behind for a corner. No, he isn't going to bounce behind for a corner because Leroux keeps it in. Palace have got some good players, actually, haven't they? They've got a good young team. Anyway, Declan Rice is coming on. Calafiore is coming on. And who's going off? Kai Havertz is it going off? So Kai Havertz is going off for Declan Rice. Another goal for Kai Havertz today. 65 million down the drain. Or maybe not. So yeah, Kai Havertz is going off. And Declan Rice is coming on. And we would imagine it's going to be Lewis Skelly to go off for Calafiore. Or is it Timber? That is Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's going off. Again, I thought he had a decent game today. Miles Lewis Skelly growing into that position. And I don't necessarily think Calafiore is necessarily better as a left back. But anyway, he's doing well, Miles Lewis Skelly. And it's good to see another young Arsenal player from Hale End coming into the first team and looking at home. You know, we want to see a bit more of Ethan Nwaneri as well, because we know what a talent he is. Mikel Arteta is holding him back for some unknown reason. But anyway, Arsenal in possession now. Saliba touches it off over on that far side to Gabriel. Now it is with Calafiore, his first real touch. Coming forward, plays it in midfield to Thomas Partey, who almost loses out again. Was that Ismail Assar again? He's an absolute beast of a game. That was Jefferson Lerma, actually. But they've done well in midfield, Crystal Palace, actually. They've looked strong. They've probably won the midfield battle, which I know seems strange when winning the game. But I think their midfield's been much better than ours today. And they've created a lot more chances. And we may be a little bit fortunate that we're winning this game by 3-1. It has to be said. But we are winning 3-1, and that's the most important thing. Now Martin Odegaard on this near side. He still doesn't look quite fit to me. But anyway, that's a long ball there. Some space for Trossard over on the far side. Can he put it across? It's going to be a hat-trick for Jesus. No, it isn't, because he's missed Declan Rice. And it's gone in. And it's Gabriel Martin. He's got the goal. It is 4-1. That will seal it. Our first real attack of this second half. And it is 4-1. Jesus was denied there. Poor finish, actually, from Jesus, you have to say, straight at the keeper. But the ball was fired back in from Declan Rice. And Martinelli has knocked it home. And it has been a another Gabriel that scored for Arsenal. Jesus should have scored, and it came back to Declan Rice, and it's Martinelli has put it in from inside the 6-yard box. Not great defending from Palace, it has to be said, but we've got the goal. It's Martinelli with it, and he wasn't offside because Palace defender was far too deep. Rice has done well. That was obviously a shot. It may well have been going in, but Martinelli's deflected it home anyway. Mark C says at last. Yeah, it's been a poor second half from Arsenal, but we have broke out to get the goal. And you have to say this will be one of the more flattering 4-1 victories that we've had. Palace have now made a change in midfield. Kamada's gone off. And actually, Eddie Nketiah has come on. He did score, of course, the other night, didn't he, when he came off the bench for Palace. That was only his second Palace goal. No doubt he'll score again, but it's going to be in vain as Arsenal look as though we are heading for the 3 points here tonight. Much needed 3 points as well, following 2 consecutive draws in the Premier League. Liverpool, of course, aren't playing until tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow they're playing? It must be, mustn't it? I don't know who they're playing, actually. Should we have a look? They're playing Tottenham away. Tottenham away. Wow. That is interesting, isn't it? That's going to be a good game. That's one that we'll have to look out for, won't we? So that's going to be interesting. Will Tottenham do us a favour? They won't be doing us a favour. They'll be doing themselves a favour. But anyway, Greg says, time to take Erdogan off. It won't be long, will it? It definitely won't. Didn't you say 65 minutes? Well, we're on 62, so it won't be long, will it? Bajanguna says, come on, you Gunners. Indeed. Come on, you Gunners. It is 4-1. Oh, and there's a chance here. Goalkeeper's out quickly again. Again, it's Sarr making the break from midfield. But David Raya was out quickly there to make the save. And now Declan Rice bringing it forward over on that far side. Plays the ball square to Martin Odegaard. Timbers ahead of him. And Martinelli's ahead of him. And Martinelli on the ball now. Plays it back into the penalty area. It's cleared away. And Martinelli now on this near side. Mark Gay does well there. Take the ball off him. Good defending from the England defender there. And Palace get the ball away. Actually played that quite well. But Thomas Partey steps in for Arsenal. Are we going to score another goal? El Loco says, fine player MLS is proving to be. Is he the new Ashley Cole? Well, he may well be. He may well be. He's looking very, very good, isn't he? Settling really nicely. And I do think the left-back position has been a bit of a problem. You know, I know it doesn't help the way that we want our left-backs to play. But nobody's really looked that great there. Zinchenko has been poor. I don't think Calafiori's been that great. I think Timber's better at right back. You know, Tomiyasu's played there, not really his position. So yeah, I think Lewis Skelly's got a big opportunity in that position to really make that his own over the next year or two. And he's certainly playing well, isn't he? There's a yellow card now for Mark Gay, I think it is, for a foul there on Martinelli. He did dive in a bit there, didn't he? The Crystal Palace captain. And he's got a yellow card. It's his 4th yellow card, actually, of the season. Will he get banned one more? Is that over now, that time frame? I know if you get 5 before Christmas, isn't it? But maybe he'd be all right then, won't he? Anyway. Crystal Palace are playing the ball around at the back at the moment. 4-1 down. And Arsenal looking in control here. Midway through the second half. We've looked a little bit more solid at the back in this second half. We've still not been great, but it's been slightly better. But we've lost a little bit of our attacking kind of flair that we had in that first half. El Loco says, with the emergence of MLS now, the ghost of Zinchenko can now rest in peace. Well, let's hope so. Hopefully he'll be on his way. Maybe in January. Anyway, Crystal Palace have now won the ball back. Will Hughes, that's a good ball forward. Mateta touches it off to Jefferson Lerma. Palace have played some nice stuff in this game. You know, obviously they've made some mistakes at the back, which has cost them some goals, which is why they're losing this game. But I think overall they've actually played pretty well, Palace, at times. They've knocked the ball around well. They've created some chances. David Ray's had to make 2 or 3 good saves. So I think 4-1 flatters us in this game. I don't think there's much doubt about that. We've probably just about deserved to be in front. We've certainly been a lot more clinical, but I think Palace have played pretty well. And you can see why their recent results have been generally pretty solid, because they do look a half-decent team. And I think, a couple more players in, and they could be a team that's going to be pushing up the league quite well. Anyway, Eddie Nketiah now drops deep and then pings a decent ball, actually, over towards that far side. But Ricardo Calafiore wins a header. Now Declan Rice can lead the charge forward over on that far side. Will Hughes chasing him back. Arsenal got some bodies over in this attack. There's a chance for a 5th goal. It comes across to Martinelli, heads it down. It's going to... it doesn't quite come for Jesus. And Trossard and Jesus there both ended up going for the same ball. But that was a dangerous counter-attack there from Arsenal. El Loco says Palace fans are now singing for Vieira, our ex-captain, their ex-coach. That's really harsh on Glasner. Yeah, no, I think Palace look a decent team, actually. They do. You can see why they've picked up good results recently. Obviously, they're not the finished article yet, and he's a fairly new manager for him, isn't he? Eddie Nketiah has come across there and won a corner. Again, see William Saliba sloppy. It's probably William Saliba's worst ever game for Arsenal, I think. I think he's been terrible today. It's not often he's this sloppy. I mean, what was he trying to do there? A stupid little flick. I mean, in the end, it has actually come off Nketiah. It should have been a goal kick, but even so, I don't know what he's trying to do there. He's got a new haircut, and it seems to have affected his performance today. He's been not great at all. Anyway, it's going to be a corner now to Crystal Palace. If they get a second goal, there's still time. There's still, 25 minutes to play. They've been a threat. Anyway, Will Hughes is at corner to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed down, and in the end, Declan Rice completes the clearance. A long lump forward. And Tyrick Mitchell goes all the way back to goalkeeper Dean Henderson. But Arsenal looking on course here for a big 3 points in the run of 2 consecutive draws in the Premier League. As Arsenal look to try to put a little bit of pressure on Liverpool tomorrow. That game away at Tottenham. It's going to be a tough game for them. I know Tottenham are a little bit of a... You never know what you're going to get with Tottenham, do you? They're either going to be really, really good or they're going to be really, really poor. You do expect Liverpool's going to exploit their very, very high defensive line. But let's see. They've certainly got some good results. Of course, Liverpool and Tottenham meet in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, don't they? While we take on Newcastle, of course, in the new year. Anyway, 2 more subs now for Crystal Palace. Jefferson Lerma is going to be coming off. The Colombian. And not sure who's coming on yet. We're about to find out. But Jefferson Lerma's come off, and it's going to be Decore and Devaney's coming on. Hughes is going off as well. I thought Hughes had a tidy game as well. But it is going to be a Czech Decore and Justin Devaney that's coming on there. 2 changes in midfield for Crystal Palace. Give him a bit more legs, maybe. Mark C says Glasner does look like a young Roy Hodgson. A little bit, yeah. Of course, Roy Hodgson had a fair bit of success at Crystal Palace, didn't he? Martinelli's just taking the ball out of play. It's going to be a goal kick to Crystal Palace. So 2 more changes for them. Let's see what impact that has on this game. I'm not expecting it to make much difference, if I'm totally honest. Not now. With just over 20 minutes to play. Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 4. Roy says, I believe I said Arsenal to win 0-3 by 3 clear goals. Anyone need any lottery numbers? Yeah, but it's 4-1. It's not 3-0, is it? So that you don't win unless you get the score right. But your scoreline did sort of, surprise me a bit. So I'll give you that. You've done well. It's not finished yet. There's still over 20 minutes to play. Palace can easily score another goal or 2. They've certainly had enough chances. I mean, we said it when it was 2-1. We said it wasn't going to finish 2-1, didn't we? And it hasn't. It is 4-1. And I still fancy there's another goal or two in this for Crystal Palace, if I'm honest. I don't think this game's necessarily completely done yet. But anyway, let's hope Arsenal can finish the job. Anyway, the ball's broke here in midfield. So Decore just come on. Ag says, 4 goals, wonderful. Was away for a while eating. Well, no, that's fine. You know, you've just missed a few goals, that's all. But there might be a few more yet. So, you know, there could be a dramatic finish if Palace can get a goal back. But who knows? You know, Eddie Nketiah is going to be desperate to score again, isn't he? He did get a very good header, didn't he, the other night at the Emirates in that Carabao Cup tie. A bit late it was for Crystal Palace in the end. But we only won that game by 1 goal. Having been behind, of course, at half-time. Anyway, Palace now looking to come forward again. They've still got time if they get a second goal here. But that's not a good ball. Easily cut out. Actually wasn't a good clearance either. That's been the feature of Arsenal's play today. Not great clearances at all. Not great defending. And we haven't managed to get this clear either. And Decore and Calafiore has gone in there, and it's going to be a corner. I don't know what Calafiore is doing here, actually. He just got a little bit too excited, didn't he? There was no need for him to get involved in that. In fact, it's a free kick. Just stupid. Even Trossard's telling him there to calm down. I mean, it was ridiculous. He's gave away a free kick that he didn't need to. And now Palace have got a chance to get the ball in from that far side. I think it's Devaney, the substitute, going to take this in front of the Holmesdale Road end where the vocal Palace support is. Free kick comes into the near post. Wasn't a great ball, actually. Headed away quite easily by Gabriel Jesus. And now Arsenal on the counter-attack. Maybe get another goal here. Martinelli threads it through to Trossard. If he's not offside, could be a chance for a goal. Oh, he took too long, and in the end, Palace have come back at him. He just needed to get a shot away, really, didn't he? You know, Eddie Nketiah has taken that well on his chest. And if Eddie Nketiah was to score in this game, this would be a fixture that Jesus and Eddie Nketiah would want to play every week, wouldn't they? Because they keep scoring. Oh, that's a poor clearance, actually. Palace have given the ball away. And now suddenly Declan Rice is having a run forward, plays it in to Martin Odegaard. Martinelli on this near side. Oh, that's a poor ball. He's had to go too wide. Chips across in. Jesus looking again to get on the end of it. It's gone behind, and I think it's going to be a corner. Odegaard's pass wasn't great, though, was it? Martinelli had to dink it back. It's a decent cross, actually, but Jesus' header goes wide. And it is it a corner? It is a corner. I thought it was a goal kick. Egg says now, Arsenal men now on the track like the ladies. Well, not quite, no. Not quite, but we're certainly on track to win this game. Probably by some distance. Martin Odegaard's going to take this corner as well, obviously, without Saka on the pitch. I'm still waiting to hear, obviously, news about Saka's injury. The corner comes in to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. It's going to fall to Jesus on the edge of the box, heads it back in. A little bit of space for Martinelli, but actually good defending there by Decore, I think it was. And it's gone out for a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. Mark Gay's gone down now inside the penalty area for Crystal Palace. Not sure if it's a head injury. Not sure what the issue is. He's back on his feet again now. The Crystal Palace captain. Did he get a whack in the chest there? Not quite sure anyway. He is back on his feet again. It's a throw to Arsenal over on the far side, which Calafiore is going to take. We've played 73 minutes here at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 4. And despite some rather shaky defending today, it looks as though we're going to get the job done. Get the 3 points, which was so important. And move on up that table, hopefully. Depending on other results, of course, Chelsea and Liverpool aren't playing today. Both playing tomorrow. We're going to stay third despite this victory, but it puts a little bit of pressure, doesn't it, on Chelsea and Liverpool tomorrow, because we've got the 3 points, and they then need to win. But anyway, Arsenal must give the ball away, but Declan Rice can bring it clear over on that far side, plays it out to Trossard, brings the ball in field, that's not a great ball, is it? That was Jesus, actually, sorry, it's run away through to Dean Henderson, the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. And Palace now playing it out from the back. And they've actually played that quite well. Decore now plays up this near side. 15 minutes to play here at Selhurst Park. Eddie Nketiah now having a run at Duran Timber. Plays the ball back instead to Decore again. Got a little bit of space, Decore. He's done well. Then he runs into Declan Rice, but manages to keep possession. That's with Mark Gay, the Crystal Palace captain. Dinks the ball over the top. It's a good ball looking for Mateta. It's a good header, though, defensively there from William Saliba that time. And now Timber gets the ball away from Eddie Nketiah, and now Saliba again, a little bit of a sloppy clearance, but Martinelli makes the most of it. And again, Saliba's given the ball away. And now Crystal Palace have got another opportunity. So they've played some nice stuff, Crystal Palace. You have to say they have played some nice stuff in this game. And particularly Ismail Assar is going to try a shot again. That one's blocked by Calafiore. It's going to be a throw to Palace over on the far side. 14 minutes left. Palace 1, Arsenal 4. And that 4th goal from Martinelli does seem to have sealed the points. And sealed the points in a important time of the season as well. Arsenal not in action again until Friday, when we play Ipswich at the Emirates, game that we should win again. You feel you've got to beat Ipswich at home, haven't you? Surely we will. So that game's on Friday. And then, of course, on New Year's Day, it's Brentford, which is always a difficult game. This cross comes into this near side. This is a good play from Crystal Palace. It's Tyreek Mitchell trying to get a cross in. Plays it back instead to Mark Gay. Plays it into the box. Eddie Nketiah tries to turn away, loses his footing. Does manage to keep the ball. It's going to be a throw to Crystal Palace. We're too keen, isn't he, Eddie Nketiah? I think he's desperate to score a goal in this game, as he did the other night when he came in with Decore. The Palace substitutes have done quite well, haven't they? But now Arsenal in possession with Martin Odegaard. Little pirouette in the middle of the pitch, and then touches the ball back to Gabriel. He finds William Saliba. Now Thomas Partey. Coming up towards the last 10 minutes, Ricardo Calafiore plays it out to that far side to William Trossard. Leandro Trossard, gets it back again, and then he's lost the ball. Trossard hasn't done that well, has he, since he's come on for Saka? Not his best game. And now Palace can try and bring the ball forward over on that far side. They've definitely played well, Crystal Palace. They play some really nice football. They just maybe lack a little bit of a cutting edge at times. They've had a lot of chances, haven't been able to really threatened since they got that goal, really. David Raya made a couple of good saves, but they've maybe been a little bit sloppy with their finishing. Could easily have had another couple of goals. Mateta with a big miss, Sarr with a big miss. Could be a totally different game if those chances go in. But in the end, it looks like Arsenal are going to win fairly comfortably, and that's maybe papered over a lot of the cracks in this performance tonight, because it hasn't been great from Arsenal. Oh, and there's an injury over on that far side. Is it Calafiore? There's a yellow card to the Crystal Palace player. Nathaniel Klein it was. Didn't even realise he was still playing until I saw the team sheet today. Oh, he's caught him on the ankle there. Caught him on the ankle. That's a nasty one, that. It's going to be painful for Calafiore. And he's just back from an injury. And he might well have another one. He's got nice hair, Calafiore, but he does seem to get injured a lot. I mean, this will be his 3rd or 4th injury. If it's an injury, it's going to be another, but it's going to be like his 3rd or 4th injury since he's been here. Ridiculous. Mark C says, come on, not another ankle knock. Well, look, it definitely is an ankle knock. Not great at all. I'll be surprised if he can carry on in this game, actually. Are we going to see Kieran Tierney come on for a Premier League game? That'd be a shock, wouldn't it? Not too sure if Calafiore is going to be able to continue. And that could be him out for a while again, couldn't it? Just back from another injury. I don't think there was any intent in that from Nathaniel Klein. He did get a yellow card. He was just a little bit late, wasn't he? And Calafiore, it was his standing foot. And it's always a painful one, isn't it? And it looks as though he's come off quite badly injured here. Ricardo Calafiore, he's still getting treatment on the pitch. And it is Klein going off, actually. And they're making that change at fullback position. Crystal Palace. And it is Capora's coming on for Klein. And Mateta's going off as well. And it's going to be Jeffrey Schlupp who's coming on. Was he in the Leicester team that won the league? Jeffrey Schlupp. He was at Leicester, wasn't he? I don't know if he was in the league winning side, but anyway. Roy says, so now we're all Spurs supporters. Well, no, of course we're not. Anyway, Calafiore is back up on his feet again, even though he's limping, not moving too freely. No, we're never Spurs supporters, are we? Definitely not. Terry says, I'm defo not Spurs tomorrow, never at Spurs. Exactly, yeah. Greg says, not a chance, not even if my life depends on it. Well, yeah, remember that game last season when they played Man City? I didn't want them to win because it's Spurs, isn't it? We need to take care of our own results. We've done that today. Liverpool have drawn a couple of games last couple of weeks and we didn't take advantage of it. That's our fault. We had the opportunity to and we didn't. So, I won't be supporting Spurs tomorrow. If Spurs get a result, they get a result. That's fair enough, but I won't be wanting them to. Roy says, how badly do we want Arsenal to win the league? Well, yeah, but we win the league because we've got 38 games of our own to win the league, haven't we? And that's how I look at it. And if we get enough points from our 38 games, we'll win the league. And if we don't, we won't. And that's not because Spurs lost to Liverpool or whatever, but because Liverpool or whoever it is got more points over 38 games. It's always ourselves. I always look at ourselves. We shouldn't have to rely on other teams. You don't rely on other teams to do you a favour, do they? Every team's in it for themselves. Every team wants to get their own results because they want to get up the league table. The managers' jobs are at stake. You know what I mean? We've got our own things to worry about. We've got our own 38 games to worry about, and that's enough stress as it is, without worrying about how the other teams are doing and is anyone going to do us a favour or not. If Liverpool win the league, they'll win the league because they've been better than us over 38 games, not one game against Spurs. So that's how I look at it. So I won't be supporting Spurs. No, I don't care who wins that game. Anyway, Trossard now over on that far side. It's a bit better from him, but can he get the cross in? He's managed to win the throw. Did quite well there, actually. Terry says, if we don't win the league, we'll sack our set. Well, yeah, I don't know if we will, but yeah. Greg says, we want to win the league, but never asking favours from that sewer down the road. Exactly. We win it on our own backs. Mark C says, yeah, Schlupp won the Premier Leicester. Yeah, amazing, really, when you think that Leicester team that won the league, it's incredible, isn't it? I still can't actually believe it now. We look at their squad of players. How on earth did that team win the league? I don't know. Anyway. Fair play to him. Martinelli with the cross. Is it going to be a fifth goal for Arsenal? Still might be. Timber inside the penalty area. Finds Martinelli again over on this near side. Martinelli trying to find room for a cross. Finds Martin Odegaard instead. Chips it in towards the far post. Declan Rice is up there, but it's a good header away by Crystal Palace. And Richards coming across to try and clear the ball away. The American. Anyway, shot comes in from Declan Rice. Oh, it's in. It is a fifth goal for Arsenal. Declan Rice has got it, and that if there was any doubt about the result, which I don't think there was, there certainly isn't now. Declan Rice has just got the fifth goal for Arsenal. I think that might be his first Premier League goal of the season, actually. It was a good finish. He almost got the one before, didn't he? It was his shot that was turned in by Martinelli. But that one is definitely Declan Rice's goal. And that will seal the points. I've never seen a more flattering 5-1 scoreline in Premier League history, really. But anyway, that's a great finish, though, from Declan Rice into that far corner. It was a very, very good goal. And Dean Henderson at full stretch couldn't get near it. And it's right in that side netting there, which is a great finish from Declan Rice. Curled it round. Very similar to the Crystal Palace goal, actually, wasn't it? That very same end. And that will seal the deal today, and that's 3 points to Arsenal. Roy says, Merry Christmas to the world, indeed. Mark C says, Leicester won that title off the back of a striker who scored 24 goals. Well, that was one of the reasons. They had a bit more just that, but yeah, obviously that was a big point. Greg says, well, 5 goals in one game. This must be the season of goodwill. Well, yes, it is obviously the season of goodwill. Declan Rice looks happy with life, doesn't he? And now we're going to see some substitutions. Ethan Wanrear is coming on for Jesus, so no hat-trick for him today, but 2 more goals for Jesus. It's been a good week for him. Timber's going off. Wanrear is coming on as well. And Mikel Merino as well is coming on with Ethan Wanrear. And we can bring players on now with the last few minutes of this game, last 5 minutes here. And Gabriel Jesus with another 2 goals. So he's had 5 goals this week, which is more than he's got in the last 18 months, isn't it? And he's been given player of the match, actually, Jesus, as well. So fair play to him. He's been crap most of the time that he's played for Arsenal, but everyone has their day, and it's been his day. It's been his week when he's got the right name, hasn't he? Roy says, I'm really happy we played the second leg of the cup away. Our best performances have all been away, but not Newcastle there. We've lost the last 2 seasons there without scoring. So, you know, I'm not too sure that that's necessarily a good thing. What is going to be important is we're going to have to win the game at the Emirates by quite some 2 goals at least, I think. And then we can defend that at Newcastle. But if we have a 1-0 lead or it's a draw at home, I think we're going to struggle there. I've got to be honest. On a night game away at Newcastle is going to be really, really tough. But let's see. We couldn't get the job done at the Emirates in the first leg. Terry says, Rice is English, Nick's from Ireland. He is, yeah. But anyway, it's going to be a good win for Arsenal in the end here. Although I think the scoreline is maybe slightly flattering. I've got to be honest. I don't think we've been 4 goals better than them. But we'll take it. We'll take the 3 points and we'll move on to Friday when we play Ipswich, of course, which at home, surely we've got to win that game, haven't we? Surely we have. And Arsenal are just content to keep the ball. Palace know that this game's done and their heads have dropped. They know they're beaten here and we've beaten them for the 2nd time in a week. Well, in 3 days, in actual fact. This one a little bit more comfortable in the end. Phil says, good for the goal tally. Should put a few past it. Which, yeah, we should do. Yeah, I mean, looking at them today, they were terrible. So we should definitely put a few past them. We might get a 6th goal here, actually. Ethan Wanrear, he plays the ball through to Martinelli. Can he get the wrong side of Mark Gay? He does, into the penalty area, but Crystal Palace managed to clear the ball away. And Arsenal may well get a chance for another goal. Mark C says, come on, lads, 1 more. Greg says, it's snowing. Is it snowing there? Well, it might well be snowing in Sweden. I don't know. Terry says, just in case you want it. Oh, about Rice being, yeah. I don't think Rice is actually English, is it? Is it not like Chinese or something? I don't know. Anyway, Arsenal now, after looking rather shaky in that first half, certainly defensively, we've been a lot more solid in the second half. Still not been great defensively, but we've got the job done. And we're now into the last minute of the 90. There will be a bit of stoppage time. There was 5 in the first half. Maybe be something similar in the second half as well, perhaps. Maybe it'll be 5 minutes again. Thomas Partey now bringing the ball forward for Arsenal. Ethan Wanrear does well. He's got a little bit of a Jack Wilshere look about him, hasn't he, the way he plays. Ethan Waneri is on the ball again, very left-footed. Mikel Arteta likes a left-footed player, doesn't he? So maybe I'd have had a chance, maybe. Anyway, Eddie and Nketiah now bringing the ball forward for Crystal Palace. Sarr over on that far side. Oh, a slip there. And he managed to keep possession for Palace. Anyway, they're coming forward again. Ball pinged into the edge of the penalty area. Played up this near side, but Tyreek Mitchell didn't make the run. And the ball has run through to David Ray as we reach the 90-minute mark. We're going to find out what the stoppage time is at the end of this game. It is probably going to... I'm going to go five minutes, I'm going to say. And there we go. It's just come up 5 minutes. Felt like about the same as the first half, didn't it? And that injury to Ricardo Calafiore was the big hold-up. Wasn't obviously lots of substitutions. Aggie says rain, 6 degrees south of Sweden. Okay, we've had lots of wind today. Actually, it's been really windy earlier. It seems to have calmed down a bit now, but it was blowing a proper gale earlier on this afternoon. Anyway, Martinelli now on this near side. Been quite mild though for December today. Martinelli's cross. Is it going to be a 6th goal? No, it isn't, because Palace head it away. Martin Odegaard now looks like he's going to get a full game this week. And having him and Ethan Waneri on the pitch at the same time is quite unusual, isn't it? So that's something to enjoy for a few minutes that they've both been on together. Royston says, nothing better than seeing empty in home stadiums as Arsenal win away. No, exactly. It's happened a lot, hasn't it, over the last couple of seasons in particular. And just think all those Crystal Palace fans who decided not to go Christmas shopping today to watch the game are going to go home very disappointed, aren't they? But I think for the most part, they've played pretty well, Palace. I don't think their fans should be too disappointed with the performance that their team has given today. Just, I think in the end, we've just shown our quality in that final third. You know, we've took our chances well, and that's been the difference today, hasn't it? And Palace haven't. They could have scored 4 or 5 in the first half, Crystal Palace. We had minimal chances, but took them. And in the second half, it's obviously since the 4th goal went in, it's been quite a lot easier, hasn't it? Mark C says, I'm looking forward to Simon Jordan on TalkSport. I don't really listen to TalkSport very often. I sometimes have it on in the car going to work and stuff, but no, it's not really something I enjoy listening to very often. Anyway, Arsenal just going through the motions now. This game has been long won, and it's just playing out for time, really, isn't it? Crystal Palace aren't bothering to press anymore, and Arsenal just comfortable, really knocking the ball around. And now we play it through midfield, but we've lost possession, and the Crystal Palace might get one more chance, maybe to get a second goal, which they probably deserve. If we're totally honest, they don't deserve to be losing 5-1. I don't think, but. We've certainly tidied up in the second half after quite a sloppy first half performance, you have to say. But anyway, it looks like we're going to get those 3 points, which was the most important thing. Royston says they still call Arsenal names for leaving South London. Boy, do they hold a grudge down here. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with leaving South London at all. We've all done it. Terry says, well, in case I forget, I hope everyone in the chat has a great Christmas, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. This will, of course, be the last show that we'll do before Christmas. In fact, it's going to be the last show we'll probably do until the new year, in actual fact, because I won't be doing a watch-along for the Ipswich game on Friday because I'm not here. So we'll be not able to do that one for you. I'll be watching the game. I won't be able to watch-along. And, yeah, so that will be what's what will be coming up, and we're into the last minute and a half here. Rod says, Merry Christmas, dear Gunners, indeed. Greg says, you should start a radio channel. It would be good. I don't know, you can start a radio channel, actually. I'm not sure you do that. I wouldn't mind doing a radio channel, actually. Mark C says, Terry, I'd like 3 points in the next game. Indeed. Well, we all would, wouldn't we? Let's be honest. We all would, and I'm sure we will. Anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a radio channel, actually. Anyway. Crystal Palace now just knocking the ball there into the last minute. That's a long ball over to that far side. Ricardo Calafiore takes it away. And an Arsenal counter-attack is stopped there by a foul over on that far side. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And we're into the last 30 seconds here. And it is going to be a happy Christmas for Arsenal, isn't it? With a victory in the last game before Christmas. The Mikel Arteta's ratio after 5 years in charge, which was, of course, yesterday, 61% win percentage, but to win one trophy, it's not really good enough, is it? Anyway, David Raya takes that free kick. Not a great free kick, actually. And Arsenal now have managed to pick up possession. Are we going to get one more goal? No, we're not, because the final whistle's gone. It has finished here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 5. Maybe a slightly flattering scoreline. You have to say, I thought Arsenal didn't play that well, really. Defensively, we were really poor in the first half, conceded a lot of chances. But in the end, we were much more clinical at the other end of the pitch. Gabriel Jesus with 2 more goals, the first 2. And then Kai Havertz got a 3rd. That was after Palace had equalised with Ismaila Sarr, probably their best player on the day. Briefly brought Palace back into it. The second half, we looked a lot more tidier defensively. David Raya had to make a couple more saves. Palace had a couple more chances. But in the end, Arsenal added 2 more goals. It was Martinelli and substitute Declan Rice to finish the scoring off. I say a little bit flattering, if we're honest. I didn't think that Arsenal maybe were as good as that scoreline suggests. But we've got the victory. We deserved the victory. But fair play to Palace. I thought they had a decent game. And yeah, 1 or 2 of their players really stood out. Particularly, I say, Ismaila Sarr is a player I've definitely got my eye on now. I don't think he'll stay at Crystal Palace, will he? I'm sure he's got bigger and better things ahead of him. But yeah, a decent game. First half was really open. Second half a little bit less exciting, but 2 more Arsenal goals to seal the victory. And we'll take that, won't we? Declan Rice with a goal as well, which is always good. Mark C says, all the best, chaps. A nice way to sign off till Boxing Day. Hope everyone stays safe more this week. And yourself, my friend. Thank you very much. Greg says, Merry Christmas, you lovely people. Indeed. Terry says, I hope Santa brings me a new manager. He won't be. Royston says, Merry Christmas, Rich. I'm hoping for a full pair of socks this year for my 2 guys. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some socks, wouldn't it? I don't think you can beat some good socks for Christmas. Absolutely not. We had that one there from Roz. Thank you very much. Mark says, turned up 3 points. Yeah, we want 3 points in every game, don't we? That would be nice. Nathan says, Merry Christmas, everyone. The same to you, my friend. Rishandra says, see you next show. Hit the likes and get more goals. Indeed, that is what we want to see. But yeah, we got plenty of goals today, didn't we? 6 in total, 5 for Arsenal. We'll take that, won't we, on the final game before Christmas. And Arsenal ended we'll be in the top 3 at Christmas. There's no doubt about that. And depending on the results tomorrow, how close we're going to be to the top of the table. But yeah, it was a good win today. And yeah, Chelsea are playing away at Everton tomorrow. That won't be easy, will it, actually? And Liverpool away at Tottenham. So it was a big 3 points today, because those 2 could both drop points tomorrow, potentially. Who knows? Aggie says, silent night, holy night to you all and yourself. Hope you have a great Christmas. Everybody, actually. And everybody who's watched the channel throughout this year, thank you very much for your support. We've really grown again this year. We recently hit 3,000 subscribers, which has been fantastic. So that was really good. So thank you all for that. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to, obviously, the 2025 and hopefully some more great stuff coming on the channel. We'll have to do some more shows with Neil and Lee and stuff like that. So yeah, we're currently sit 3 points behind Liverpool. They do have 2 games in hand, let's not forget, but one of them is tomorrow. And we've got plus 18. Chelsea, who are 1 point above us, have got plus 18. And Liverpool have got plus 18 goal difference as well, which is quite strange, isn't it? Not in the first, the 4th. Wow, what a season they're having, as we said before. So yeah, Arsenal got the job done in the end. I don't think 5-1 was a fair reflection on the game, but we'll take it, won't we? There's been plenty of games where maybe we've deserved more from them that we've got, so we'll take them when they come this way, won't we? But yeah, it was a good win, an important win, much needed win. Yeah, and we move on. Terry says, what's the sub count? I think it's 3,050 or something, or other like that. It was yesterday, around about that. So, we haven't done bad since we hit 3,000. We've got another 50 on the board, which is good. Grat says, I come home from the pub just to be able to join you after the game. Only 2% left on my sale. Oh well, you see, you've been using your phone too much, haven't you? You have to charge it up now. But yeah, anyway, thank you to everybody for supporting the channel throughout this year. Really, it's been fantastic, and hopefully you'll be joining us in 2025. Royston says Arsenal have scored 5 or more goals away from home in a calendar year, a Premier League record. We probably have actually. Yeah. Terry says it's taken a while, but very well deserved. And I mean, I think it always does, doesn't it? I think when we're still a small channel, we've had to start from scratch. Some people are maybe a bit more well known, get more subscribers to begin with. We've had to start from zero and build up. And I'm happy with the growth of the channel. Yeah, of course, like anyone, I'd like to have 25 million subscribers and not have to work for a living and just do this all the time. But I'm happy with the growth of the channel. I think we've got a great community here. And I don't really do stuff on this channel just to get likes and to get views. I want to do something that's worthwhile and worthy of doing. You know what I mean? I don't just want to I know some people just doing shows because they're chasing likes and chasing stuff like that. That's not what I'm here for. I just want to do good stuff that people enjoy watching, and hopefully on the back of that it will continue to grow. That's what I'm hoping for. So we shall see. But yeah, so that is going to be. I don't know if we might well try and squeeze a show in before the end of the year. Maybe a 2024 look back, maybe something like that, because it's been a bit of a strange year for Arsenal, hasn't it? In some ways. So maybe we'll look back on all of that at some point. I'll try and get a show in. I'm quite busy over Christmas, got to work and stuff. It's a bit of a nightmare this year. But anyway, so there you go. Greg says, this is definitely the best channel and fantastic chat. It's certainly fantastic chat. Absolutely. You guys make this channel what it is. I'm grateful to every single one of you for joining us as regularly as you do. Gret says, God due to you all. Take care. Happy New Year. And yourself, my friend. If we don't see you before, have a good New Year. But we won't see you before Christmas now. This is definitely the last show before Christmas. And it's not a bad way to finish, is it? With a 5-1 victory away at Crystal Palace. We'll take it all day long, won't we? So, yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. Have a very, very happy and safe Christmas. I will see you very, very soon. It has finished. Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 5. Jesus has been the resurgence of the resurrection of Jesus in the week before Christmas. Wow, what a story that's been. Another 5 goals for Arsenal away from home. Great stuff indeed. El Loco says, of course, the channel will grow. We love your style, Rich, even bigger than Robbie. Well, I don't think it'll ever be bigger than Robbie's AFTV. I mean, that would be something, wouldn't it? I'm not quite sure that'll happen, but thank you for your support as always. Richard, I personally think your channel is top notch, mate. I really, you've been with us from pretty much from the start, haven't you? So I always appreciate your support. Everything else Greg says, hope you and your family have a great time. And yeah, and yourself, Aggie's just giving us a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks everyone. I say, we've got a great little community here, haven't we? Which we enjoy, and I'm glad you guys enjoy it as well. Anyway, I'm off to enjoy the Christmas festivities. I hope you all have a really, really great time. Stay safe, have fun, and hopefully we will see you all again very, very soon. What a great way to finish this year, if that's what it's going to be. 5-1 to Arsenal. Lovely stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Christmas. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you soon. Come on, you guys. Thanks for watching.